Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drape on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drape.
All right. Before we get to last night's contest, the Kings game, just want to let you know we're a little short-handed today because we got Kyle Draper on the road with the Kings. And we got Jay, who was on assignment, had something come up. Everything's fine, but a family thing that he had to address. So what are we going to do on a Friday without the LeBron of the station and without the Gary Sheffield of the station? So we got Ramsey's holding us down on Jay's end. Thank you, Ramsey. We got Jerry Reynolds is going to come in today, 4 o'clock. He's coming in. He was going to come on at 4. He's coming in today, and he's probably going to stay a while. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah. Evan Pilati is here. He's going to be joining us, Mr. True Sports Cards. And we have the Phantom with us. Is it true all day, Phantom?
Well, that's what you asked for. So, yeah, you called me so late last night. I don't know what I agreed to. I mean, it was after 9.
Yeah, and it sounded like you weren't sure what was going on because this literally happened. I call Phantom, and I hear pick up because of and then there's and I can hear someone there like, oh, hold on. Hello? No. Hello, is everything all right? Hello? And you go, hello? What the hell is going on? You go, oh, yeah, you caught me at a bad time. I was letting the dog out.
I took the dog out, and he called me right then. Of course, I got shocked by the phone ringing.
Let the dog out and then answer the phone.
Well, I mean, she needs my attention. I can't just let her run wild.
I thought, I didn't know what had happened. Like,
I'm born free over there.
Oh, and then you try to pull out. Yeah, hello? Well, there was like 7 minutes of nothing. Is everything okay? Yes, just letting the dog out. What can I do for you, Phantom here?
Cheerio, how are you?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I recovered quite nicely.
Yeah, so thanks for coming in today for our Friday fiesta of fun and frivolity.
I've heard it's Friday fun time.
Friday fun time and something. I forget what else I said, but definitely.
It was clever, whatever it was.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Well done.
Not as clever as your Anaheim Amigos shirt.
Amigos, got to represent the old ABA.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Friday fun time, you got to have the Amigos.
Yes,
Not
you do.
one of the more vaunted franchises, maybe, but
I think that's the franchise that eventually became the LA than the Utah Stars. But anyway, that's
there you go. That's for
not
another day.
Obviously, that's that for another
that's
show.
A whole show.
What happened to the Kings last night? They go into Denver, they get smacked around, and then they come back, and here they come with a furious comeback. It comes up short. Am I a bad Kings fan for thinking you should have just wave the white flag?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. But I mean, you can look at the bright side. You can see a guy come in, and I mean, if your name's McBuckets, eventually you have to make a couple of baskets, right?
Right.
To validate the name, and he comes in and he does it. It's one of those things where, like they say, a football team at the end of the half, well, if they're first down, if they make a good gain on first down, then they'll use their timeouts, or if not, they'll just let the clock run. Well, they say that's what the Kings do. We're going to try this. If it doesn't work, we'll just throw everything away. But all of a sudden, here comes the microwave, and there you go.
And it was very exciting because they cut it, to 5 at one point.
Yes.
But I was just thinking, look, you got another game tomorrow, and then you got a game Monday, and you probably were not going to win that game. And I'm sorry, because I know Kings fans are going to be screaming at me saying, they almost won that game. What are you talking about? I just wish they would have said, all right, live to fight another day. The team was already weary. We'll just play the reserves in the fourth quarter because they lost anyway. Now, major minutes again with this game against the Knicks coming up tomorrow. That makes me a bad fan. I'm sorry.
Coming up tomorrow. Yeah, they've got time. It's the road in the NBA. They've got time to rest. They, showed up. What did Gary say, like 4 o'clock in the morning or something?
Yes.
They got perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, today's a rest day.
If
you listen to the great Alan Stiles, today's a rest day. And they come in tomorrow and they go out to MSG and they pick up the dub.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just I thought maybe they would have been better served just getting the guys some rest. They're kind of a veteran team. I don't need to tell you that. You know all about that, fam.
I know all about being a veteran team, yeah, but I don't know what 6 or 7 minutes difference is going to make. I think that they're just fine. Once they make that move in the Christie regime, you've got to go ahead and go for it. You can't sit back and just let it happen. Mm-hmm. You're fighting until the end. That's what he's trying to instill in them.
I know.
So if you're making inroads, you try to continue to make inroads.
Mm-hmm. I get all that, and I know there's the bad blood between the Kings and Michael Malone and all that stuff.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, you got De'Aaron dealing with, looks like that finger is really affecting his shooting. I just thought if I'm not being honest, then it's like, yes, that's great. They almost won that game. Oh, the plucky Kings. Yes, they could have pulled that one out. But if I'm being honest, I'm thinking might have been better served just to say, all right, it's not our game. We'll rest the fourth quarter and be in better position to beat the Knicks tomorrow night because that's a big game now, Phantom.
That's a huge game. I think it's a very big game in the sense of it's a game in which the Kings, who are on a great streak lately, Kings always feel disrespected. Sacramento always feels disrespected nationally. No one ever notices us. Look what we're doing. No one says, hey, way to go, Kings, you're on fire, anything like that.
Mhm.
You go into New York and beat the Knicks, 2 all-star starters, third in the East at Madison Square Garden on a Saturday night. That's going to make people sit up and take notice. All of a sudden, hey, those Kings are pretty impressive because they did it in the major market on a game that everybody's looking at.
Yeah, to that point, I mean, it's great that they did it Wednesday before a national television audience against the Warriors.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the Warriors slightly depleted in that game, so maybe they don't get the
What,
charge
are you a
out of
Warrior
that.
fan? You're a Warrior fan now making excuses for the
No,
Warriors?
I can look at
I
a
didn't know
team
you were
and
a
see,
Warrior fan.
hey, wait a minute, there's a couple of guys that aren't there. I
didn't
can
know Rick
see
Barry
that.
played for the Anaheim Amigos. It's interesting.
No, I don't think he'd Oakland Oaks. I don't have a shirt for that, but I'd love to have that
I
shirt.
have one of those.
Oh, those are sweet. No, I can go ahead and recognize that the scales weren't exactly balanced in that game. In fact, they were down 17 at half, and I told the missus what I said to her. I said the Kings are down 17, but they'll win.
You said that to the
That's
missus.
what I told the missus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she listen to you?
Absolutely not. She wasn't even in the room.
You really felt that, huh?
Yes, I absolutely did.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I was not so sure. Obviously, we've seen them do that since Doug Christie took over. I mentioned this yesterday at halftime. I went into the media area, and the great Tony Ray Harvey came up and he goes, this game's not over. So you and Tony Ray Harvey have that
there you go.
belief. Did you ever feel that way yesterday?
No.
Yeah, I didn't really either.
Not really.
And I know that was tremendous. Oh, that's great. They came back, but was it worth it? I don't know, Phantom. Maybe I'm just a bad fan.
But if you're going to look at the recent stretches where you say that the 2 games they've lost are two of the best teams in the league with the 2 best players in the league playing very well. So there's nothing wrong with that. What they've done on the other hand is win the games that in the past they might have dropped. You want to lose the iffy games, and they haven't lost any iffy games. And so I think, you go out there, you give the effort last night, that's fine, and then you turn your attention tomorrow to New York.
Yeah, on the, or I should say in the chateau, that's what we call it, the YouTube chat, the chateau.
The chateau.
Yeah,
So French. It's French.
A little bit.
All right.
Let's see. Campio says Phantom working past his nap time. So
You're going to get
starts.
that. Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. I usually get it, but with you, or I don't get it. You get it.
Well, that's because Jerry's coming in at 4 to coincide with my nap time.
Yeah. Amadrock says, "Oh, what the heck? Nice surprise." I assume he's talking about you. So yeah, people appreciate.
That's nice.
I hope.
Thank you very much for that inferred compliment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amadrock from Vallejo, California, as I know you are.
Credible news about Vallejo, California. Of course, CeCe getting into the Hall of Fame, but did you see the adjunct to that? They're making a movie about CeCe's. I assume this is true. I saw it on the internet. They're making a movie about his Little League team.
Are you serious?
It's called Vallejo. Yeah. That's what I saw. Maybe I had not seen that. You would know about that, so maybe I was punked or something. But it looked like they're making a movie about CeCe's Little League team when he was 12 back. I think it was 1989, and they're calling it Vallejo. I was shocked.
That's tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should have got some confirmation when I bring these big things to the show like this. But yeah, it's incredible.
You know the guy that you just met, Emran Pilati, who's going to be joining us today?
I do in fact know him.
Yeah, I was just talking to him before the show. He was mentioning, oh, CeCe, that's great. And, he's local. He tells me he's from. And then he goes, Visalia? I said, no, he's not from Visalia.
That's a really good try, though. That's a really good.
You did say
I mean, Valencia, you could go a lot of different places. But he was.
Vacaville's closer.
Oh, that's really good, Vacaville. Yeah, but we don't like Vacaville.
No, I have to look into that. That's tremendous news.
Yeah,
That was very
it's
exciting.
incredible. Yeah.
So that's the first. Vallejo's had a number of major league and professional star athletes, but the first Hall of Famer, I believe, from Vallejo, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Billy Buckner never did it.
No,
Tug
the great Dick Bass back in football days with the Rams and stuff. I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I saw. I need to get confirmation, but and they had like log lines for it and everything. The gritty urban decay of a city is lifted up by the Little League. It's really exciting. Like, wait a minute, I lived there. I was on the All-Stars in Little League. They didn't make a movie about my team.
Right, Trailer City.
I was on Trailer City, but I'm the East Vallejo All-Stars. Yes. Trailer City.
Yes.
We came in
I got a quick baseball question. Then we'll take a quick time out. We'll get back to the Kings. Right. Speaking of baseball, you've always told me this story And the more I think about it, it was when you played. And the more I think about it, it's like, it's not true. It's a radio story. It's something you told on the radio, and it can't be true. There was a guy you said that I think you played against, and he ended up playing professionally, if not the majors. And he picked you off first base. You said while you were tapping the base with your foot, he picked you off between taps.
American Legion.
Cannot be true.
American Legion, 19 back in the day. American Legion was like what you played after the high school season was over. And in those days in our area, that's where the better players went to play. And I kind of lucked out, got one of the last spots. So we're playing Novato, who was the best team, and they had this guy, a left-handed pitcher, who was drafted like second or third round in the draft, which was a huge deal.
Yeah,
it was by the Braves. It might even have been the Milwaukee Braves at that time. I don't know.
Boston Braves.
So he was on Novato, and when we played him, we were the lower part of the league, so they never pitched their best guys against us. We got their third or fourth starter. Well, one time they got the big lead on us, and we jumped on them, and we started to make the comeback, and we started to go, oh, why don't you put in Mr. Bonus Baby? Why don't you put in Mr. Left Field, Mr. Big Shot?
Bench jockeys, huh?
So they did. Yeah. They did put in Mr. Left Fielder, and I was like the second or third person to hit against him, and he threw me 4 pitches. I think I didn't see 3 of them.
Yeah,
they were I have no idea where they were, and the curveball went from the top of the hat to the bottom of the feet. I let that go, so I walked.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, this guy's not so tough. I saw 1 pitch. So I went to first base, and I'm tapping my foot on the base, tap. You're out. What the heck?
Yeah, that cannot be true.
Left-hander picked me off first base as I tapped the bag with the left.
Ramsey, do you believe that story?
It happened to me, Ramsey.
Years. I do not believe it's true.
I don't know about tapping off of first base, but it's easy to get picked off by a left-handed pitcher, especially if they want to kick that lead foot over the rubber and deceive you.
Yeah, well, I was very deceived. I will say that, Ramsey. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for backing me up on that.
I am not.
You're thinking maybe I wandered like a foot off the bag?
Well, if you're standing on the base tapping your foot, he's not even going to throw over.
Oh, he threw over because we were giving him the business.
All right.
It was embarrassing because we're in the third base dugout, and I had to go all the way across the diamond, just my head down and stuff.
You deserved it for being a bench jockey.
Yeah. No, I wasn't one of the ones that was yelling at him.
That's what you
I
did.
was just a small child at the time.
Yeah. Domas against Jokic. What happened? What it means? That's next. With the drive, guys, we got Phantom in today. At some point, we may hear from Kyle Draper with his Drapes takes. But he's on the road. We're not sure when. We're looking forward to that, too. Thanks for being with us on Sacktown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Elk Grove Honda reports that Honda has earned 3 coveted 2025 Car and Driver 10 Best Awards for the 3rd year in a row, honoring the Honda Civic, Honda Accord, and Honda CR-V. Honda Accord wins for a record 39th time. You can see and drive all the new 2025 award-winning models at Elk Grove Honda and see why Honda cars and trucks continue to impress the critics. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center this week. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
It's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Dan to the Young in the chateau. Says Vacaville and Fairfield and Marysville get confused in my mind.
Marysville?
Yeah.
Vacaville and Fairfield.
That I-80 corridor. Yeah.
Wow. How about Reading? Is that in there too?
Campy says Phantom has more info than the other guy. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think the other guy might be your new moniker.
You've been around a long time.
I have more information stored. Yeah,
more time.
Who the heck was that guy that just came in here?
Emron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just wanders in. He goes, "Oh, I'm going to come on." Okay, come on. And he leaves.
Emron's been here for a long time today. He
Yes.
had something to do. And then he's supposed to be on at 3. So
okay, so wait till 3.
So I told him he could come in. He's right there, by the way.
I don't really care. If you're supposed to come in at 3, then come in at 3. Don't come in at 2:10, 2:20, and 2:30 and goes, "Do I come in now?" I love the guy. He seems like a great guy, but he had a watch or something.
Yeah. I told him to come in anytime. Open house today with fans.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought. But then you're treating Emron and everyone else just like you treated that lefty who picked your ass off.
Oh, that guy was good. Man, was he good.
Emron, you come in whenever you want.
3 o'clock. Yeah.
We talk a lot about Domas and how some people say he's kind of like a Jokic light. And, he's a really good player. He's having a great year. But, see, again, I'm being a bad Kings fan.
What is wrong
There is
today?
only one Jokic. Jokic
what is he, 35, 22,
unbelievable.
and 17? Yes, that was incredible. He's an incredible player. He's the best player in the league. He and Giannis.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And Shea.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the best player in the league. So even if Domas is a Jokic light, he's not Jokic.
Right. But he had 23, 19, and 8 for Domas. And last night, I know, against Jokic, you're like, well, I guess that's okay.
What was his
23, 19, and 8.
So he got a couple of rebounds more, right? Otherwise,
6 offensive rebounds.
Okay.
He's only 10 for 21. He was missing bunnies because the Kings, I'm telling you, they were weary last night. They were weary.
Okay.
Road weary.
Okay, but that happens. That 2 of the teams they played on their recent homestand was it Rockets and the Wizards came in on the second night of back-to-back. So, I mean, that obviously happens, and the air is different. I understand that.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
altitude. Don't
Yeah,
forget
the altitude. You miss just 2-footers because of the altitude.
What should Kings fans do? You've been a Kings fan a long time.
Yeah.
What should Kings fans do if, I don't even want to say it, but
they're going to get 1.
In the All-Star thing?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the whole hoopla, but they're going to get 1 in the round robin tournament or whatever you call it. Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest and realistic, it probably has to be Domas, right?
Yes.
He's having the best year by far.
And the consistency factor.
Yeah.
I mean, you seem to know what you're going to get. And obviously Fox is playing, under duress here lately, but you know what you're getting with Sabonis. Mm-hmm. And even on a day that he's overshadowed, he still had pretty impressive numbers.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of this turnaround under Doug Christie? I know everyone's talking about it. We've all said the same things, but has it surprised you that they went from, wow, this team just looks like they're just flat to, whoa, they look like they're all on Red Bull?
It surprised me a little bit because of the total turnaround. What are they, 10-2 since he took over, something like that? So, I mean,
they were 10-2.
Well, oh boy, geez. Anyway, so yeah, but they're just, like I said, they're just winning the game. Those games, many of the games they lost to get to 13 and 19 are games they could have easily won in the last minute or last, couple of minutes and everything, and games they dropped basically. So you just clean that up a little bit. You could see that the writing on the wall. If you did that, you're going to turn some of those into wins, and they've done that against the lesser teams in this round. And yeah, Doug Christie, you're going to get some energy from a new coach anyway. At least you hope so. And he is that energetic kind of guy where I think Mike Brown, at least the perception was he was kind of like more sitting back, maybe not laid back, but sitting back and kind of like letting things happen. And Doug has come out very aggressively. And the thing about DeRozan putting together the compilation of his defensive clips and showing it to the team, it means that he's kind of struck a chord in there somewhere, because DeRozan's not the guy I thought would put together a defensive tape. So, I mean, that's nice.
Now who's taking shots?
What? I'm just giving compliments, albeit backhanded.
Did you think he was going to be a good fit? Putting you on the spot. Hot seat.
DeRozan?
Hot seat time with
We
Phantom.
talked about this one of the months ago when I was here, and I thought that he would make the team better, but I didn't think it would translate into that many more wins. And so right now, I think he's just getting his stride. I think he's been a great addition. And again, if you're looking at the Kings from we have the card guy here. If you're playing basketball cards,
his name is Emron.
Yes, and he's a fine fellow, and he can come in at 3:00. If you're playing basketball cards where you just put down your team and you get the names, DeMar DeRozan makes the Kings much more impressive in basketball cards, and he's come out and he's done the job.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the new bump or the new coach bump, and you mentioned that the team according to the metrics, was doing a lot of good things before the coaching change. I think, you're talking to people around the league and people in the media, I think there's still a lot of people around the league watching this going, and they're a little skeptical. I think they're wrong, but I think they're skeptical because they say, you know what, this team was already playing better than their record. So they were, even if Mike stayed there, they were going to start winning. I don't think that's true, but I think that's how some people look at it. And if you're not watching this happen, you're not watching these games as we have been, you look at it afar from, wow, the Kings are winning these games. Yeah, that's clearly a new coach bump. But if you see how they're doing it with the comebacks, it's clearly more than that. And that's not just Mr., purple glasses on. There's clearly more going on so far with this Kings team than that's a new coach bump.
I've seen the list of like recent comebacks and everything, the double digits, 18 points, 17 points, 18 points. And that's impressive. But do you think that that's kind of does it seem like that's a league-wide thing? There are more and more teams that have big leads that are giving them away.
Yeah.
It just seems like, obviously with the 3-point shot, that's going to happen more often. But it really seems like it's hit a high point this season, and the Kings have kind of benefited from that. It just seems like more teams are giving away. And I'm talking like 18, I'm talking 20, 22, 25-point leads.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we saw it last year, too, to a degree. Remember, the one that stands out in my mind is the Kings against the Bulls here.
Yeah.
And DeMar DeRozan had a ton to do with that. We're down the stretch. He beat the Kings. But, yeah, and I think it's a 3-point shot, and just the fact that now, Phantom, there are guys that are so good now at shooting the three. Cam Johnson, I know his numbers have changed a little bit in the last few days. We were looking it up a couple days ago, and I think he was at like 42% from three. That's 15th in the league.
Yeah, then
that's unbelievable.
Okay, I agree, but how come when I look at the box scores,
you're right over there?
I don't know. I was getting excited over there. The guy's coming in at 3. I was like, you look at the box scores. So many teams that don't win in this league. You look at their 3-point shooting, and they're 26%, 29%, 32%. So I agree, there are great shooters. But I still think there's a lot of teams that aren't great shooting teams that take a lot of threes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a recipe for losing.
Yes, very, very well put right there.
Last year, the Kings were 3rd in attempts and 16th in percentage. So, it's like the top 2 teams in attempts last year were Boston and Dallas. And I don't know how closely you follow it, but they ended up having pretty good seasons. And then 3rd in attempts was the Kings, but they're 16th in percentage.
And they weren't to the level of the top 2.
Exactly.
No, they weren't. Yeah, because you want to get the percentage up as high as the attempt. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
That's right. How are you feeling about the Kings in the trade deadline? Any thoughts? Or are you just, no, this team's great. Why would you do anything with this team with Doug Christie? They're so good. Is that really where we are with you?
I was listening to the great Alan Stiles before.
Not familiar?
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I know.
They were talking about when you make changes, you make changes in the middle of a season.
He's on the show with Kyle Ledbetter, who's sitting right there.
What?
Yes.
Was he the other guy that was talking?
Yeah.
He would make some good points too.
Yeah.
That was not a bad show. I mean, I turned it off, but it was not a bad show.
Right.
But no, they were talking about making changes in the middle of a season as opposed to waiting until the off season. And when you make a change in the middle of the season, especially a big one, then everything resets. And so I don't know if the Kings are going to subscribe to that as far as having a big reset. With DeRozan being added, there's already a big reset to the team this year. So I don't know if throwing a big piece in there in the middle of the season or 2/3 of the way throughout the season, I don't know if that's really a good recipe.
Yeah, I understand that, but they need shooting, do they not? They need some size. Yeah. They need some length. And if you could get a wing, and it's what everybody's looking for.
I know.
Right?
And the names are always the same names.
Right.
And I mean, maybe you hear the names, I know it with John Collins. I don't even know if he's a real person anymore because he's been reported to be traded the last 6 years.
Yes.
And it's just incredible.
And he was once.
He was once a real person, but I don't know.
I mean, he was once traded.
Well, yeah, he was a real person once. So I don't know. And I don't know if Cam Johnson's getting to that stage, but it just seems like it sucks all the value out of a guy. Now you don't really know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. You need some shooting, obviously, because as we just discussed, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, to me, the counter to what you just said, which is a great point, is like you don't want to disturb things, is now you have a chance to have a really good team. You know that. 23 and 21 in this thing could still really go any number of ways, right?
Absolutely.
It really could.
Yeah.
But you have an opportunity with as well as this team is playing now to maybe even approach that next tier of teams in the West. If you upgrade, if you take advantage of this opportunity to improve. So to me, if anything, you got to be more aggressive at this trade deadline.
if you know exactly what you want to get to go ahead and plug that in there.
I'm telling you.
You're a huge gap, obviously, back from Oklahoma City, but after Oklahoma City, it drops down considerably. So you're only 4 or 5 games out of that next level. So it's not like you got to make a huge difference. You got to jump up a little bit. So, I mean, if you know what you want to get, obviously, and you don't have to give up too much for it, and it sounds like they don't. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you can add something without risking something, you do that.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the great Alan Stiles. He and Kyle Ledbetter were talking about how the ball did not bounce the Kings way out west last night, looking at some other things that happened out west.
I see what they're
saying. So we'll take a peek at that. And I'm hoping Emron will join us, but it's possible that he's heard you and we may never see it.
That's
again.
all I'm hoping for. Can't you tell?
Coming up here, and we're anxiously waiting Drapes Takes, which we could have at any point today. Thanks for being with us. Happy Friday from the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Elk Grove Honda reports that Honda has earned 3 coveted 2025 Car and Driver 10 Best Awards for the 3rd year in a row, honoring Honda Civic, Accord, and CR-V. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body?
Huh?
That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the 2nd largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884. This year, resolve to save on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on over 30 new half-ton Silverado LT and RST. After rebates. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big. Huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers based on 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
This 49er Injury Report is brought to you by Jeremy Winter, attorney at law. He cares because he's been there. After an injury-plagued 2024 season, which ended 6-11 and out of the playoffs, the 49ers will focus on getting healthy in the offseason. Running backs Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason, and Isaac Guerrero all suffered season-ending injuries. Left tackle Trent Williams' ankle kept him out late in the year, and Brock Purdy missed the season finale with a hurt elbow. 49ers hope to enter 2025 with a full roster back intact.
Serious accident. You deserve the law offices of Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237. Jeremy lost his mother in a car accident and knows firsthand the pain caused by tragedy. That is why he became an attorney to fight for others who are going through a tragedy. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Jeremy Winter. 877-637-3237.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and today expect to have increasing cloud cover into the afternoon, warming today into the mid to low 60s with winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Drapes traveling with the team, and we got Jay on the side today, so we got Ramsey holding it down on that end. We got Phantom in today. We got Emran Pilati joining us here. Jerry Reynolds going to join us in studio.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, we just heard Dirk Verdorn talking about it could be some rain tomorrow. It's been really cold, hasn't it?
It's been very chilly.
Very, very cold. Yeah. Can you imagine what it would be like if your HVAC went down right after Christmas? Can you imagine that?
I feel something coming on here.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Oh my gosh, no. So you couldn't turn on your air conditioner when it was freezing?
Could have. Just making the best of the space heaters. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're more expensive than if you just ran your heater for the entire house, right?
They probably are, but the heater does not function. So have to get a new.
He wasn't paying attention to the first part of the story.
No, I wasn't allowed here until 3 o'clock. I snuck in 30 minutes early.
Yes, I noticed.
Yeah. So
I feel for you, man. I thought you were doing a commercial read. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, "Where's the read?"
Come on. I thought we just did the stuff.
I hope to be at some point.
You know what's terrible? When your house is cold. And I sure would love a sponsor to work with me to talk about it.
Great.
That is a great one. That was very good. It was so smooth. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So you just, layering and
layering is very important.
Blankets and
yeah.
So anyway, Emran Pilati is here.
I'm here with the legends. This is amazing to me. And I was mentioning to Phantom before when I snuck in early to say when I would be arriving.
I did not notice
when I would be arriving. And I said, "This is where I throw the rose petals in," and I walk in. I said to him, "Don't take offense to this, but I'm 47, and I've been listening to you since I was a teenager." And the way you looked at me,
the way I look at you,
he doesn't see that. He doesn't see that well.
No.
So
he doesn't see that well. He's like,
I didn't know you were there.
What did this kid say? It was a good time. Yeah, this is incredible to be able to have both of you here and sitting here with both of you.
That's very
amazing.
kind of you
and
to
then
say.
You said Jerry's coming?
Jerry Reynolds.
You thought my segment would be over. I'm just going to sit here through the night.
You sit over here then? Is that what you're going to do?
Well, I will.
Yeah.
Wherever it takes.
Great.
It's like, the old Tonight Show where, you have your segment and then the next guest
You
comes
move down,
in.
You move
down the line, buddy.
Hey, I feel like Elon. I'm just going to hang out whether I wanted to be there or not. I'm hanging out forever.
I want to thank you, Emran, for not mentioning first thing here. You had actually never met Phantom.
Never.
Before, right? Yeah.
Today, the pleasure is all mine.
Yeah.
I wish I had a time machine.
I need a watch for my birthday. If you
I was sure that the first thing you were going to tell him was, "Hey, we went out to dinner with Whitey and Sheena, and I asked Sheena who's quicker, Whitey or Phantom, and she without hesitation,
quicker in snappiness and how to react to things."
Yeah.
And what's amazing was she had like 0.2 seconds between me stopping my question till the answer. Phantom for sure. By a lot. You can see why going, "I'm married to you. I'm here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You could have even paused a little bit. No.
Yeah.
Oh, Phantom for sure.
I don't
Oh,
even
he
think
was,
she let you finish. She cut you
out of the two of them, who's more witty? Phantom. Phantom. So witty. Oh,
there you go.
So
Yeah.
witty.
That was a different time.
It wasn't that long ago, actually, that you said that. Yeah. Emran.
Yes.
What do you make of the Kings last night? Tough one.
Tough watch.
Yeah.
Just getting behind so far down early and then having to make the comeback. It's always a rough watch. And it just goes to show how much more we need somebody to play that shot blocking contester in the lane, in the paint. Domas does everything except for that. And just that little.
It sounds like you, I don't want to go here, but you're forcing me. Sounds like you turned that thing off and you didn't watch the end.
No, I watched.
I
watched every minute.
I was going
of
to
it.
say I don't think you
Yeah.
watched any of it.
But I was
I think he
behind.
was out last night.
I don't think he likes basketball.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about. Why does he even own a sports card shop?
Yeah.
Who's going to stop Joker anyways? The guy's impossible. He's, I think, 0.1 assists away from averaging the triple double. He's like 9.9. Unstoppable for us. You don't expect that, but maybe a little bit of a contest. We just didn't see much of it. And that's been the Kings' Achilles heel, I think, for most of the year, is just not having somebody that's challenging in the paint.
Did you see I think they said 66 footer. I thought it was like a 71 footer.
Oh, yeah.
I heard 85.
Is that really?
That's what I was
Full
told.
court's 90.
85, yeah.
94
94 is the court.
And he was about, I thought he was at the 3-point line. So anyway,
I'm
somewhere around
further
there.
back.
And it looked easy, huh?
Well, he does it all the time.
Woo.
Yeah.
Bo
Act
Nix
like you've
couldn't have
been
done
there.
that.
Bo Nix could have done that.
Bo Nix would have been, look out! I'm sorry. And he was on the
Oh,
line.
he's just
As
a
he's
rookie,
throwing.
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like now we're talking about adding somebody to the thing now, our esteemed
To the team?
To the team, and
Yeah.
he wants to add a shot blocker. You want to get a guy with shooting. We got to get. It's really tough. We're going to add one guy. We're going to add two guys. It's very difficult.
Perfect world. You had two guys, right?
We didn't need
perfect
anything.
world, yeah.
We didn't need anything through the win streak, right? But now all of a sudden we lose. All of a sudden we, seven
see, I
trades.
don't
That's
know.
the only
I
way.
think people were pretty still hipped on the fact that the roster more impressive, but not where it needed to be. Because then when you're talking about a win streak like they had, then all of a sudden you start looking bigger and you go, well, we need to move up to this next level like you were talking about. And that roster's not there yet.
Let me ask you guys about a player that a lot of Kings fans are crazy about. And I like the guy I'm talking about as a player. Don't really know him that well personally.
You haven't hung out?
Worried about that. Yeah.
Not that much.
Yeah.
Jonas Valanciunas. You think he'd be a good fitter? Because there's some fans like, oh, if you get Valanciunas, you're in. And he's a good player, but I don't know about his fit here. I'm working on it. What do you guys think of Jonas Valanciunas?
I think the Kings are very much in love with anybody who looks like they're mean or tough or rugged. And because the perception is, and maybe it's true, it's like we're a little soft, and we get taken advantage of. So I think everybody's like, oh my God, he would impose his will on other people.
Yeah,
and stuff
the
like
great,
that.
pardon me, Phantom, but to your point, the great Evan Sidery was on today with, Alan Stiles. So you apparently think he's like the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Does he show up on time on his segments?
He does.
Okay.
He does.
Well, and that's probably why he loves him so much.
Evan Sidery said, boy, if you had Valanciunas, you would get every rebound between him and Sabonis. I don't know how much you could play them together. So anyway, maybe I'm wrong, but everyone goes, oh man, Sabonis, Valanciunas. And I'm just not sure he would be as good a fit as other people say.
I think he would add some stuff, but I don't think he would be the guy. I don't think he's the answer. To your point, you grab every rebound between the two, but they wouldn't be on the court at the same
There
time.
you go.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he would help. And
I'll bet you I know somebody who wants Valanciunas.
he's already got his card out right now. And
Jonas Valanciunas cards for sale right now at TrueSportsCards.com. The other thing too is what a missed opportunity on that signing. He signed 3 years for $30 million. Oh, it's unbelievable. $10 million a year. That's about what you guys make, but for regular people, that's
right.
That's very reasonable
That's
for what
just
he's
endorsements.
giving. This is endorsement minus the heating and air vac one.
And I'll get back to you.
That's just by my sports card money. Yeah.
By the end of the show, just for him being the co-host with me, he makes that. But yeah, I think that when you're going to be trading salaries, that's going to be a challenge because he's making $10 million, but he's worth much more than that. So how do you do the salary trade? On top of that, the Grizzlies are in play for a playoff spot. So why would they want to strengthen others?
Valanciunas?
Yeah,
because he's on the Wizards now.
Oh,
yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I
He was.
If I came at 3, I would have known what I was talking about. I would have done more research.
He was on the Grizzlies at 3. Yeah.
But Evan Sidery was saying, well, if you gave up Trey Lyles and a second rounder for Valanciunas, and my thinking is, I need Trey Lyles to get the other guy I need.
That was my first reaction. Was I kind of like some of Trey Lyles. He has some value. So, I mean, I don't know that I want to give that up because, then you start, like we say, then you're robbing Peter to pay Paul over here, and you still got problems with the defense because Paul doesn't.
Is that a biblical thing? Is that what that comes from?
to go back to my
The
youth.
Peter and Paul?
I like to go back to my
Don't say
youth.
that anymore, do they, Emran? People come into your store and say, well, you make that trade, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Well, there's no robbery. In the
Side note.
Only from his side.
That's true. Side note. Whitey disparaged one of our customers that came in one time, and you called him a mummy because you said he was so old.
He was older than me, so I figured he's got to be like.
So you just take shots at him?
No.
He's a customer in the man's shop.
But the guys had hard of hearing, and you were cute about it. How you
Look, I came in there one time, and Emran was going to look at some stuff, some cards, and it was
already a great story.
So I was like, okay, I'll wait. He goes, oh, here. And out of the kindness of his heart, there actually is there's some kindness in there.
There's a heart in there somewhere. Yeah.
And he gave me some cards to open, and they were college football cards. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm not the biggest college football fan. So I get them, and I was like, hey, Emran, because every set of cards, there's like a chase card, like this is the one you want,
Okay.
So I was like, hey, Emran, what am I looking for? And he goes, you're looking for the best players. I go, okay. And this guy sitting across from me who was older than I am, therefore he was,
a mummy? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
What did he say?
He goes, just look for the stars. And I'm like,
that's great advice.
Well, I
from
knew
an
that
elderly guy who's been there before.
I could have figured that out on my own.
And then
you didn't.
Under his breath, he went, kids these days.
Oh, you mummy? Is that how you said it? Well, how did you say it to the guy?
He was nice about it. I said, you want me to unravel you, King Tut? So
that's not bad, really. Yeah.
He was nice about it, but it was a little condescending, like, just look for this.
Silva said,
who asked that? What am I looking for? Who says that?
That's
Come
when
on.
you're opening the card.
Obviously, you want a Bo Jackson, yeah.
And I thought Aaron's going to go, oh, yeah, it's the Ryan Williams auto to 10 or something. He goes, just look for the best players, dummy.
And then I walked away.
Oh, I love Ryan Williams, though. That's a good one.
Oh, who can forget his play? Who can forget?
Oh.
Silva actually says in here that I need to pay attention if I own a card shop to where players are. Who watches the Wizards?
I've made that mistake myself with that very player.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a long time ago, but I did. I did do it. Oh, by the way, I know we're all over the place on this crazy Friday. Jerry Reynolds is going to join us at some point. Before we take a time out here, Tony Ray Harvey, looking at your shirt, says the Anaheim Amigos of the ABA. He says, I learned something new every day. I'm looking for a crew neck sweater now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the Anaheim Amigos.
Anaheim Amigos, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Original franchise.
Original ABA franchise.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that logo is it's not a red, white, and blue ball on the ABA. They missed an opportunity.
Wow, way to go.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, we haven't talked about Pete Carroll to the Raiders yet.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Is it okay with you if Emran sticks around?
I'll stick around only till 3.
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's good. That's a great trade-off. He can stay till 3.
He's letting me. Thank you so much.
That's coming up here, the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into 3. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Don't miss the excitement of 49ers game day. Secure your spot at Levi's Stadium for the 2025 season.
20, one block and he's in.
Season tickets are available now. Inventory is limited, so to speak with a representative, call 415-GO-49ers.
Touchdown!
That's 415-GO-49ers.
San Francisco!
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Old Spice Swagger Body Wash will make you the MVP of freshness and confidence. With its irresistible scent, it will transform your shower experience, leaving you feeling fresh on and off the field. Pair it with Old Spice Swagger Deodorant, the #1 aluminum-free brand that keeps you feeling like a Super Bowl champion 24/7 when used daily. But don't wait. This dynamic duo is available at Costco for a limited time only. Old Spice, official deodorant partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59, where freshness meets football greatness.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-887-1010. 800-887-1010.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've had my all-electric SUV for a little more than a year, and I continue to love it day after day. In fact, me and my daughter, we were just on vacation not too long ago, and we rented a car while we were on the trip, and my daughter said, Dad, I like your car better. I turned to her and said, honey, you know what? I like it better as well. And I couldn't wait to get back home to my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. You know, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, they are more than just a dealership. They're a partner you can trust throughout the entire ownership of your luxury vehicle. Whether it's a refined C-Class or a versatile SUV lineup, your perfect Mercedes-Benz is there waiting for you. Plus, right now, you can enjoy 3.24% APR for up to 72 months on certified pre-owned models on approved credit. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is your trusted partner in luxury and reliability. And they've been doing it for more than 30 years. So head on down right now to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center this week. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Tom's Watch Bar has the best happy hour in Sacramento, starting with $5 specials all day, every day, plus select $7 appetizers and $12 entrees, with 360-degree viewing and game day vibes that match being at the game. Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for sports fans.
Coach Doug Christie here for your truck headquarters, reminding you that every deal at Folsom Lake Ford is a slam dunk. Shop all your favorite models on sale now, including America's best-selling truck for over 47 years, Ford F-Series, plus a huge selection of Broncos, Bronco Sports, and all of Ford's award-winning SUVs at FolsomLakeFord.com. Listen, I know a great play when I see one, and if you want to save on a new Ford, you gotta drive the lane straight to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall. Right now, buy any new Ford with zero down on approval of credit. Save big with low interest financing, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. So hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, a 6-time Triple Crown winner for sales and service excellence. That's why they're my trusted dealer, and they should be yours too. Tell them Coach Doug Christie sent you, or shop them online at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I know I said we're going to talk about Pete Carroll with the Raiders. We will get to that. but we have kind of worlds colliding here. We have Phantom joining us today, wearing his Anaheim Amigos ABA shirt. Tony Ray Harvey was commenting on that in the chat. We have the fact that the Kings lost last night to the Denver Nuggets. So Emran Pilati, who's also with us today, says ABA, Denver Nuggets. And who did you call up?
Love the ABA. Am I on?
Yes.
I can't hear myself. I'm new to this whole thing. Sorry about that.
We can hear you. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, unfortunately,
continue saying that as much as possible.
So I said, let's call Dan because he's an ABA legend, and let's see if he'd take the call.
So joining us, the Hall of Famer, the great Dan Issel. How are you today, Dan Issel?
For you.
We appreciate your time, Dan. We're just wondering what, first of all, what do you think of when you hear Phantom has a T-shirt here from the Anaheim Amigos?
Yeah, that goes back even before my days. I think I came into the ABA during its fourth season, and the Amigos were long gone by then. In fact, other than the Kentucky Colonels and the Indiana Pacers, just about everybody found a new home every year or two.
Yeah.
What was your salary back then, Dan? Let's talk money real quick.
Come on.
What was the money like back then?
I think my first year with the Colonels, now, there were a lot of other things. They had this dog off plan that they put money into mutual funds for you, and that's how they justified the salary numbers that they released. But and there was a car and all those other things. But I think my actual salary, my rookie year with the Colonels, was $40,000
per game.
First, he was an all-star his first 7 years in the ABA, an all-time great, a Hall of Famer. I may have this wrong, Dan. I apologize if I do. But speaking of these crazy teams, as I recall, you were with the Colonels. They had some financial issues. They ended up dealing you to a team called the Baltimore Claws that never actually played, and then you ended up with the Denver Nuggets. Is that close to the actual truth?
Man, it's right on. You're an ABA historian. What happened was in '75, we won the ABA championship. We had a great team for several years. Artis Gilmore, Louis Dampier, two Hall of Famers. Hubie Brown came in to be our coach that year, and we finally cracked the code and won the ABA championship. But the owner, John Y. Brown, who, of course, started Kentucky Fried Chicken and was governor of Kentucky at one time, married to Phyllis George, he still lost money even though we won the championship. So he decided he was going to sell either me or Artis to recoup his losses. And the Memphis Tams, in an effort to keep teams from folding, because that was the beginning of the last year of the ABA, the Memphis Tams were basically given to a couple of rock star promoters in Baltimore. And so they became the Baltimore Claws. I was sold. I've heard numbers anywhere from $500,000 to $700,000. I was sold to the Baltimore Claws, but John Y. never received his money. So 10 days later, 10 days later, I was on my way to Denver, and it obviously couldn't have worked out better for me.
Hey, Dan, you talk about how great those teams were. And if memory serves me right, didn't you guys play a series of games against the Celtics or against the NBA teams at that time?
Yeah, we played starting even back 3 or 4 years before the merger took place. There were exhibition games between the NBA and the ABA. I remember one in particular. We played the Milwaukee Bucks when Kareem was still there, and I think it was Artis's second year, maybe. But we filled Freedom Hall for an exhibition game, and the Bucks beat us that night. But we had a pretty good record, albeit exhibition games against the NBA.
Dan Issel is with us. Dan, you're Denver Nuggets, great player, coach there. I don't know how much of today's NBA you see. I'm assuming you watch a fair portion of it. What do you think of Nikola Jokic and how unique he is in the annals of great players in the NBA?
Hey, he's unbelievable. I think he's the best I mean, when you look at what he's able to do, look at his stat line last night.
Yeah.
Look how efficient he was from the field. I think he missed one free throw. But to have that many rebounds, that many assists, and that many points, I've never seen anybody. People ask me who can you compare him to, and the closest thing I can come to is Bill Walton before he got hurt. Bill was that kind of all-around center, but he never put up the Nuggets, the numbers that Nikola is putting up. And, you can't give him the MVP every year. And I guess right now, Shane Gilgeous-Alexander is the leader or the favorite. But I think you could put him as the most valuable player every year. Now that the Nuggets are healthy, you guys saw it last night. Now that the Nuggets are healthy and they've started bringing Gordon, they had two problems. If I'm talking too much, tell me. They had two problems. They were getting off to slow starts, and they didn't have much of a bench. And Aaron Gordon got hurt. And when they brought him back, they brought him in off the bench, and that did two things. It put Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup so that they had some energy to start the games. Now they're bringing Gordon off the bench, so they have a better bench than they had before. And now that they're healthy, I think they're, again, you can talk about OKC and you can talk about the Celtics. If they can stay healthy, another Christian Brown is really starting to play like an NBA star. I think the Nuggets are going to be hard to beat.
Well, Dan, we can't tell you what a treat it is. We had no idea we'd be speaking with you today, and we're big ABA fans. So thank you so much for your time. I hope you've gotten something out of it. We've enjoyed it and learned a great deal. And what's your advice for putting up with Emran? Because he hangs out here a lot.
Please.
Yeah, I've answered every question so far. That one I can't.
Dan, lose my number, Dan. You lose my number.
Thank you, Dan. We appreciate it very much. You take care.
Anytime. Have a good afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Right. The great Dan Issel.
Why do you do that to me?
What? I didn't
say anything.
Yeah.
I'm staying through 3 o'clock now.
Just
staying through 3 o'clock.
Asking questions. Yeah. Imran sticking around. We got the Phantom in today. Pete Carroll of the Raiders. We haven't touched on that yet. We got to talk to Imran about the big news in trading cards. Did you hear what happened today, Phantom?
Absolutely.
Huge news.
Incredible
You don't
news.
even know what you're talking about.
I can't wait to talk to him. Too bad he has to leave.
More coming up on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Paramount Plus is your streaming home for the NFL playoffs on CBS. It all comes down to this. As the Chiefs host the Bills in the AFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax. A trip to New Orleans is on the line. Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line, golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 16. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question.
Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Mighty 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
It's time to turn up the volume on live entertainment. Check out the Sacktown Sports live events calendar for the hottest events and shows coming your way. On February 18th, catch the incredible Miles Kennedy at Ace of Spades. His powerful vocals and raw talent will leave you speechless. Then gear up for an adrenaline-packed night with a Thunder Showdown boxing event at Thunder Valley on March 8th. Who will come out on top in the ring? Be there to find out. On March 9th, don't miss the legendary John Oates live at the Crest Theater, bringing you iconic hits and timeless melodies. If you're a country fan, mark your calendar for March 16th, when Alexandra Kay brings her heartfelt songs to Ace of Spades for an unforgettable evening. And on March 29th, get ready to rock the night away as Papa Roach and Rise Against take over the Golden One Center with an electrifying performance. Don't miss these amazing events. For more information and your chance to win tickets, head to SacktownSports.com. Sacktown Sports, your front row seat to the Sacramento area's best live entertainment.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
So he's just bouncing from one coast to the other. So we may hear from Drapes today.
Drapes.
Yes.
You know.
And we may hear from him at some point with Drapes Takes. We'll see. And then Jay has something he had to take care of. A family member had one of those, like, my house is flooding. And so he's got to help out.
Kudos to Jay for taking care of that.
So once again, as I mentioned, Ramsey's holding us down today. Phantom is in here. Emron Pilati's in here. And normally when it's Emron and Kyle Draper, they're kind of going at it.
Let's go.
And I noticed that.
Let's do it.
Emron's still going at it with you instead.
My favorite Phantom is how you said, "Oh, it's 3:00. You can have opinions now." That's what you said during the break, and that was not scripted. That's really how you feel. Thank you.
Not scripted. Much of this isn't scripted.
Much of it.
Yeah.
Very little of it.
Very little of it.
Well,
we're not sticking to it. That's for sure.
I did get a couple of emails.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Hey, remember JR? He's on.
I do. What a fine fellow he is.
JR, you're on with the drive, guys. What's going up, JR?
You are taking Phantom out of his 3 o'clock bath.
Lift with your legs.
He speaks the truth.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Hey, why didn't you talk about Phantom when you invented the game of basketball, how you finally cut the bottom of the peach barrel out of the bottom. So
actually, that wasn't me.
Huh?
I didn't figure that
Jerry
out.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
That was Jerry Reynolds.
I had the
That's
basket.
right.
I don't know. I just went up on the ladder every time. I didn't care.
You didn't realize
I
that.
didn't say, somebody said, hey, if you let it, you'll drop right through it. Wow. Thanks,
Between you
Edison.
and your brother in Vallejo, I mean, you probably only made 2 or 3 buckets every 20 minutes. That's okay, though.
Hey, Vallejo's on the rise, my friend.
Yeah, they are. CC.
Phantom says,
know
JR,
him?
I hadn't heard
Yes.
this. Please, if you've heard this, confirm it.
Okay.
Phantom says he heard that because of CC's about to go to the Hall of Fame, there's going to be a movie about CC's Little League team, and it's going to be called Vallejo.
That's what I heard.
And this is the first I've heard of it. I kid you not, JR.
That is awesome. Isn't Vallejo named after a hooker that parks your car? No, that's wrong. I got that wrong. But anyway, it's a C-town. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys are all right. And hey, hang in there, young guy with these old men, because they're going to bring stuff up from the Civil War. Hey, remember that one game during the Civil War?
Remember when we took the muskets out for a shooting range? It was amazing.
All the pre-games, they would shoot the muskets, and we'd have to go find the bullets.
It smells.
That was our beam.
You guys are off.
Light the muskets. Light the muskets.
Fire the musket.
They mess it up. They go, we got to do it again. Reload and everything would take
It'd
hours.
take 40 minutes.
Yeah, it would take hours.
40
Okay, next
minutes to
game
reload
starting.
the musket.
Yeah, that's all right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yes.
But worth it.
Thank you, JR. And again, Phantom was the one that told me about the Vallejo movie.
I hope it's real.
I do too.
Yeah. That's like a great story.
And of course, Vallejo was actually named after General Vallejo, not named after what
he
JR
said.
suggested.
Something
it
about the
was.
ballet. Oh, yeah.
Last night in the Western Conference, we know that the Kings lost, right? Well, the Spurs won. Actually, they won yesterday in Paris. The Mavs won. The Warriors, Clippers, Lakers all won. So, you know what that does to the Kings right now? They were 7th yesterday. Not right now. They're 9th, and they're 13 games out. They're 2 games out of the 6th spot, 2 games out of the 5th spot. But Phantom, they're 2 games out of the 12th spot. So is it too early to get too concerned with any of this?
What? Is it too early to get concerned? No, you're concerned for a good reason. It's a very volatile situation, a very fluid situation, which is why this recent winning streak, had you not come up with that, it would be dire straits. But no, I mean, you get 2 games, you lose 2 games, you lose 3 games in a row. All of a sudden, you're out of everything. So you should be concerned.
I got to see what you think of my theory. I know I've run this by Emran. Speaking of Wemby being in, they had the game yesterday.
Gay Paris, yeah.
Gay Paris.
They won tomorrow.
You remember we were on a rock station when, remember grunge came to the fore.
Yes,
and so
I do.
you had Nirvana, like, wow, taking the rock world by storm.
Yes.
And then you had Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
so then at that point,
Mookie Blaylock was the name of the band.
Yes, good call. Anybody in Seattle that had like a drum kit and an amp and a guitar,
sure,
like 3 guys,
And
you're signed.
Yeah, and a flannel.
Yeah,
And a
exactly.
checkered flannel.
Like your record deal. It's the same way now if you wear a beret and you make 2 free throws.
Yes,
right?
it is, yes.
You know what I mean?
Well, that started with Michael Pietras back in the day. But
yes,
absolutely.
but he earned it. He
Yes.
didn't get there on,
Bonjour,
Wembley.
monsieur.
Yeah.
Can you make 2 free throws? Yeah, absolutely,
But there's a lot of guys now and some of them are really good players. I get that. I'm not saying
Yes.
everybody from France is not a good player, but there's so many French guys coming in. And I
Right.
think some of it is that same phenomenon. Wemby's really good. This guy's French. Go get him.
Well, back in the 60s, every British band got a contract.
is that
So
where
there
it
you go.
started?
That's where it comes from, my friend, in Europe.
The
like that.
1960s.
Yeah,
you're talking
yes,
about,
I tell you, 1860s, every Civil War band. Yeah, everybody wanted to be General Sherman.
They were all lighting the musket.
Emran, is it too early to be concerned about this, where the Kings are night to night? 23-21 right now, 9th place.
2 weeks ago, we were sitting here crying about everything, right?
Right.
We did the show, the emergency radio show, where we
Yes.
all came back from vacation.
It was on a Friday.
On a Friday, and we had Jerry join us and everything. Mike Brown had just gotten fired hours prior, and we were all, Henry was here, and we were all right. That was dire straits.
Mm-hmm.
That was, what are we going to do? And here we are going, they lost against a championship team that won 2 years ago. Oh man, this is rough right now. Look, we're 9-3 the last 2 weeks. Take a breath. And they played very well last night on the comeback. The only thing is just don't put yourself in that position to where you're down 20 points. early late in the second.
When the NBA has you playing at altitude the night after you had to play a game and you arrive at 3:30 in the morning at altitude, it's tough to get off to a good start, Emran.
We've got a lot of excuses to use. Let's use all of them.
That's why you're losing followers, mister.
You want to stay relevant on Twitter or not? Yes. Stop with this stuff.
Oh, I'm going to Blue Sky.
Are you okay? You lost 10 followers on Twitter.
Something like that. Yeah, because I had some people that had been following me, because I was at the station in the Bay Area, and it was a Warrior station, did a lot of Warrior stuff. And now I'm up here, and, I had to tweet some things about the light the beam, and look at the Warrior fans leaving the arena. And some Warrior fans, they no longer follow me. So.
Haven't you been here for a couple of years?
Yeah.
They just figured it out.
I don't know, man.
Not the brightest fan base, huh?
I don't know about that.
Good as we're out of there.
But I haven't been, that volatile about it. That vocal about it. Now
usually very quiet. Yeah.
But you know how it is with the Warriors and the Kings. Oh, the Northern California. This can't be like an A's Giants split cap thing where you're I like both teams.
No.
You cannot do that.
You cannot do that. No.
If you root for both teams, you're not rooting for either team.
You're not a fan.
I own a sports card shop. I root for everybody.
Do you?
Please do well.
Ooh.
Please do well. Financially for us, it's great when Curry does well. I just want them to lose against Kings.
Mm-hmm.
I want Curry to score 55 points and lose. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Now, you didn't have your store when they were winning all those championships, did you?
No, I just missed out.
Yeah.
I missed out on the Giants run. I missed out on the Warriors run, the Niners run.
Yeah.
Well, the Niners. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're in prime position for the Athletics run.
Let's not call that the Athletics team.
The Athletics run.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited about that because I saw something about how many seats they're adding right now. Did you see how many seats they're adding?
No, I'm curious to know that. Do you remember the number?
Another 10 or 15,000 seats that they're adding to the mix.
So are they adding more seats than I'm losing followers? Is it?
Wow. I would say it's neck and neck. It's a lot like the Kings in this 9th through 6th position.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's tedious. Every day it changes.
Mm-hmm.
You're hurt. Are you okay?
Okay.
Okay. You look really upset.
I'm definitely okay. I was remembering, Phantom, years ago. I don't know if you win on it, but I remember you telling me about Sacramento's March on Baseball.
I went there. Yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got on a bus and you went down to see the A's play.
One of many buses. There were many buses down there against the Yankees. Yeah. It was fantastic. I was sitting in the farthest reaches of the Coliseum, but it was a tremendous time. Yeah.
And it was because you were trying to show baseball. We want a team in Sacramento. How did it work?
It worked so much that 30 years later, look at this. Look at this thing. We have baseball.
You know what? 2 more buses.
You're welcome, Sacramento. You're welcome.
2 more buses. You might have had a team a long time ago.
Might have been 15 years. Yeah, absolutely.
We got more on the Kings coming up. Also, we got to get to Pete Carroll to the Raiders thing. I know Phantom is dying to talk about that. Yeah, and I'm just kidding. I'm just using.
No, at my age, I forgot it happened.
We got that more coming up here. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 moisture. With vanilla.
You know, typically on Fridays here, we got Ramsey holding it down today. Thank you, Ramsey. Phantom, this is perfect for you. Typically on Fridays, we have a flashback Friday with the music. So if there's anything that you would like us to play from your era or eras, you know, I'm sure if you I can't speak for Ramsey, but I bet you'd find a way to
I
fit
was
it
just seeing on Twitter today in the same place I saw the CC Sabathia movie news that there's a big Sylvester Stone documentary, Sly and the Family Stone.
Oh.
So if we could do any Sly and the Family Stone, that is always
He's
welcome.
from, I've heard like every
What
community
city?
in the Bay Area he'd say, oh, he's from
Vallejo Junior College.
Vallejo Junior College.
Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But is he
And he's a
actually
Hall
from
of Famer. So there you go.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of Vallejo Hall of Famers, here's a story from
Oh,
Variety.
yes.
GTG Studios has announced its latest film, the Sabathia-inspired Vallejo coming-of-age film chronicles the extraordinary journey of the 1989 North Vallejo Little League All-Stars navigating the challenges of growing up in a crumbling city.
That's what really got me. I guess, truer words were never spoken.
Yeah. At its heart, the film tells the inspiring true story of a World Series champion and New York Yankees icon long before his rise to Major League Baseball. Well, that's tremendous.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible.
I'll tell you, Vallejo is featured in other films, and it's not always cast in the best light. I'm thinking of the movie Zodiac, in which some of that was, I think, filmed in Vallejo.
Oh, yeah.
That was, of
Some
course,
of
they
that
had a
took
serial
place.
killer running
Yes.
around in Vallejo,
Yes.
taking people out.
2
They
miles
never-
from our house.
Yeah,
So there you go.
Yes. Yeah, they never quite figured out who that was. So.
No.
Yeah. Good old Vallejo, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking. That's going to be great.
That's fantastic. I want to get some memorabilia from that movie.
Yeah.
Vallejo.
Do you think they'd put some in the movie from our actual Vallejo Little League experiences? Like I remember one time I'm sitting there in the first base dugout, East Vallejo Little League, and I look out and I'm looking at the guy on the mound for the other team, and I'm looking at the other dugout, visitors dugout, and it says VISTORS, visitors.
Visitors, yeah.
And I'm like 9. I'm going,
that's spelled wrong.
Bro, come on. I'm 9 years old. Does anyone else see that that's wrong?
Hey, you're
wow.
It's probably
That's a great Little League moment.
It was probably the mayor of Philadelphia spelling out Eagles at the same person.
Great googly moogly. Yeah. There you go.
Then on the other it might have been that same day. The other team had this guy as a right-handed pitcher, right? And Little League, and he starts with his left foot on the pitcher's rubber.
Yeah.
So he goes into his motion, and that foot comes right off the rubber, and I go, "Whoa, bro! Again,
I'm a little nerd or something.
That is
Back
not
off.
a legal move." The manager of the team goes, "What do you mean? What?" I go, "Well, it's a balk because you." He goes, "Oh yeah, hold on. Hey, up."
You know what? I've gone to dinner and lunch with this guy, and both times he's wanted to see the manager. So it's been a long
waitress.
Look, I'd like to speak to the manager.
Come on, and I know these people, volunteers and everything, but
that's you. You're a tattletale.
I know you're a volunteer, but can you get the rules down, please?
Can we play baseball by the rules?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway,
yes. Well, my Little League experience not quite as controversial as yours. I mean, they could make a movie about our all-star team when I was 12 when we lost to Grant Little League on a home run by Derek Lee's dad. We could do that. LaRon Lee, I believe was his name. Yeah,
okay,
tremendous
there was
player.
The 2 Lees,
there was Leon and LaRon.
Yeah.
And one was the dad, and one was the uncle, and one was major leagues, but also Japan leagues.
Yes, I met him. He
Fantastic,
used to do Rivercast games. Heck of a guy.
We had Derek Lee on our show many years ago, and I told him about that. He said, "Dude, you got to let that go." I said, okay, Derek, I will. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they'll make a movie about that.
Yeah. Years ago, they had in Vallejo, once again, they had Phantom out in center. How old were you when you were out there?
I was 10 years old.
And they had a major leaguer out there hitting him fly balls, and he was supposed to try to catch them. And guess who the major leaguer was? Number 24.
No.
Willie.
No.
Mays.
No way.
No, apparently he didn't do real well.
The embarrassing part of that was that I had a choice because Willie Mays was coming to Vallejo because Vallejo had really good relations with the Giants at that time. He was coming to Vallejo to do like a clinic. So he was going to hit infield and outfield to 9 players. And I got chosen to be one of them. And they said, "Okay, what do you want to do? You want to be catcher or do you want to be center field?"
Of course, center
field.
field.
I'm like, center field. I'm going to be Willie Mays at center field. Well, the catcher got to stand next to Willie Mays for 2 hours. I was out there trying to catch fly balls from Willie Mays. And I mean, I literally couldn't see them. They were hit up so high. He hit me so many fly balls that I missed. I didn't see him. I had no idea. He goes, "Okay, hey buddy." He goes, "Hey buddy, I'm gonna hit you easy one." He hit me the hardest line drive I've ever seen. It got to my glove in like 18/10 of a. I mean, it was incredible. Almost took my hand off, but I caught it.
That a boy.
Yes. And then at the end of the day, I got an autographed baseball. A way to go, buddy, Willie Mays, and we played with it the next week.
Well, like what was that movie? The Babe Ruth ball that wouldn't play, was it Sandlot?
Sandlot,
yeah.
which is a terrible movie, but yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of this.
Very much.
I'm friends with repeat.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. I enjoy that movie very much.
No one else agrees with me, I know, but I
he's very quick on
Oh, did you say, the guy's balking out there? Hey, 1 foot on the rubber. Hey, come on, man. Come on.
No, it's cheating. They're throwing him slow pitches.
My problem with that movie is they're playing baseball by the light of the fireworks on the 4th of July. And you can't do that. It doesn't work. You can't see anything. So
How do we know?
You never seen some good fireworks, dude. You got to come to Lincoln one time. We'll put on a show for you.
All right, Phantom, what do you make of Pete Carroll to the Raiders?
I was surprised by it.
He's going to be 74 when the season
He's
starts.
gonna be 74
He'll be
when
the
the season
oldest
starts.
coach in NFL history.
I forget things myself, and he's older than I
just
am.
said that.
What's that?
You
When
just
are we
said
going to
that
talk
a little
about Pete Carroll?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Come on,
Let's
you
roll
guys.
with it now. Good idea. I'm glad you brought it up.
Obviously, he's always been a guy who's been, energetic and everything, and he doesn't look like he's 74, whatever. But I'm very skeptical. I'll just say it that way. As far as
seriously, because of the age?
The age and connecting and everything. And I know he's a coach. I mean, he's been around the teams and he's been consultants and stuff. But I mean, it's serious. Like we were talking with whatever's name was over here.
3 o'clock. You call me 3 o'clock.
He'll be like at the end of his contract. He's like 78 years old, and I know that's a great age for presidents. But I don't know that you want to coach your football team. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can't have that responsibility.
No, I mean you're just
running a football team.
Give a guy the nuclear clubs, but it's a football team.
Are you out of your mind?
He's calling a pass on 3rd and 3. What?
Just hand it to Marshawn already.
Yeah. Emron, and I know what's his name.
Who?
Emron. I believe we had this discussion.
I'm
earlier.
calling him Grown Man Phantom.
I know. I know.
Right.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think you disagree with Phantom on the wisdom of hiring Pete Carroll.
Well, now you sit up. He's like, I'll stop slouching.
It's gonna get
guy,
real.
I wants to argue with me. The 3 o'clock
Ergonomically, it's not my
the
favorite.
3 o'clock guy. Belichick is 72. Everybody was
I
looking
wouldn't
at
hired him either.
North Carolina did, and they loved it. And I think that he would have gotten a solid deal from the Bears or somebody like that, and he would have taken that deal and said, North Carolina, I bid you adieu.
Seriously, you think he would have got a deal? I think he went to North Carolina because he wasn't going to deal with anybody else. There was no interest.
There were
His
reports, and there's reports of just about anything. So, it could be cherry picking, but he burned a lot of bridges and he knew he wasn't going to get a chance. I don't know if it's true, but it's been thrown around that he went there because he didn't think he was going to get a chance. In the
exactly.
He is a sharp mind.
Yeah.
When you saw him do some of the breakdowns and he took away the surliness of the hoodie and you saw, you're like, this guy is an X and O's guy. He knows what he's talking about. 72, 74. If they know what they're doing, they know what they're doing. I mean, I'm looking at the YouTube chat right now, Phantom, and I'm glad you're not being able to read this because all of it is don't wake him up from his nap time. Yeah. But look at you. Yeah. You're crushing it. You're crushing it today. Yeah. So
I don't really remember.
That was the most backhanded compliment.
Crushing it. Just like your pills. When you
just
like you crush your pills.
Yeah.
Put them in your drink.
But there's a difference between being able to break down plays on a podcast or on a show and running a team all the time. That's an incredible time commitment and energy commitment. And we've seen time and time again. I mean, Popovich is one example. I mean, it just wears on you.
But an NFL coach, if you have the right OC and the right DC, and it's going to be probably the guys that he had in Seattle for better or worse, he's there just basically to kind of put the thing on the right track, right? With Tom Brady overseeing it. He's there to kind of establish a shred of organizational credibility. That's job one for him right now with the Raiders.
Can you agree with me that Tom Brady shouldn't be an announcer if he owns part of a team?
We talked about that off air. Totally.
Well, I wasn't. Obviously,
you weren't invited.
Yeah.
It was in the hallway. It was in the hallway during break.
The meeting you guys
That's why
had?
you're sitting here by yourself?
Yeah.
Among other things.
You were sleeping. We left you
very
alone.
agitated over that. And all of a sudden, I found out we're talking about it already.
But nobody cares about it. So it's like,
I know,
nothing going to happen. Anyone who cares goes, that's a conflict of interest. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Play on. So
he's talking to teams before the game and getting all the background information and stuff. They're telling them all their plays and everything. He's, hey, I own this team over here, by the way. Did you know that? I own the other team.
Yeah, but you're Tom Brady. So
yeah.
But anyway.
But it wasn't like he was getting strategy because his team's already gone long time ago, so they're not playing. What does that matter?
Yeah, so I think that's the main thrust of his job there is just to try to start to establish some semblance of order.
Hey, God bless him. I hope it works out for him. Really.
Dude, yeah. Banter the Young says, and I think he's talking about Pete Carroll, not you, but he says he'll probably be a really, really nice coach with a nice comfy sweater and office hours till 3 because dinner at Marie Callender's is at 4. That's ageism is what that is.
He'll have patches on the elbows. Yeah, that's fantastic, my friend. What a fine contribution that was.
He's correct on that. Marie Callender's, if there's any here local anymore, 4:00 dinner. I have a 2-year-old as a 47-year-old, so we have the early dinner sessions.
Yeah, that was kind of an age flex right there. But I have a 2-year-old as a 47-year-old.
Which
These guys are way older.
I was 45 when the child was born. How about that?
Yeah, what do you think of that, huh? 3:00 that, huh? So what I was getting at is that I'm often at those dinner times, and it is packed with what do I call
Take
him?
a 2-year-old to Marie Callender's?
I do. He loves his pie.
Is the word you're searching for mummies?
Mummies, blue hairs. There's a lot, 6-leggers. There's a lot of different descriptions of that. So, but yeah, I enjoy the early dinner time because I get to meet new people. That's for sure.
AC with a question. By the way, how did Kevin get the squeaky voice of the family compared to Phantom's golden tones?
That's a tremendous addition. Again,
it's a good
these
question.
guys are coming through. They really are.
It's a good question. I don't have the answer for you.
Are you sure when you hear squeaky, he doesn't mean
old 3:00 over here?
No, I'm sure he doesn't mean that. All right, Phantom. So you're out on Pete Carroll to the Raiders.
I want him to do well. I want him to succeed, but I just very
not
skeptical.
to throw this back at you because it's not your job necessarily to know this. But who would you have hired then, or what type of coach would you?
What type of coach would I have hired?
Yeah,
I know it's not my job. I don't have to.
Well, I don't want to play that game. Who would you hire then? And you're like, ah.
No, I do think that they feel Raider wise that they had to make a quote unquote splash.
Yes,
and so the only people that do that are he or Deion Sanders. Now the Vrabel's off the market, so I can see it from that standpoint. And again, I mean, it's a pretty amazing conference now with coaches.
And the best thing about this is that now back in the same
Yes.
division.
Oh, absolutely.
Pete Carroll and Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
So here's one of the things too. When you're 74 and you're just starting, you're not interested in a rebuild project. Expect them to do something really aggressive to get a quarterback in there as soon as possible. So I think they're going to make a big move because Carroll's going to say, I need a quarterback. I can't have this Aiden O'Connell mess, this Gardner Minshew mess. I need somebody right now. So I feel the super aggressive. I think they'll make a play on Darnold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I don't know if he's the right person.
Russell Wilson.
He's available, I guess, if they're going to move on to Fields.
Prior history.
All right, we'll take a look at NFL Conference Championship weekend coming up. And we haven't told you yet, Phantom, about the incredible sports card news that broke today. It's amazing.
I've been waiting.
Oh, he knew about it. We had the meeting in the hallway, but he's listening.
I was at that meeting.
He had both eyes closed and open one to say, what is that they're talking about?
We got Aaron Pilati. We got
what's his name?
This guy right here, Phantom.
Editor Marie Callender's.
Drive guys rolling on Sacktown Sports. Happy Friday.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cone Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Tom's Watch Bar has the best happy hour in Sacramento, starting with $5 specials all day, every day. Plus select $7 appetizers and $12 entrees with 360-degree viewing and game day vibes that match being at the game. Tom's Watch Bar is the ultimate game day experience for sports fans.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer & Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Ginger.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and his team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way 30.
Don't miss the excitement of 49ers game day. Secure your spot at Levi's Stadium for the 2025 season.
20, one block and he's in.
Season tickets are available now. Inventory is limited, so to speak with a representative, call 415-GO-49ers.
Touchdown!
That's 415-GO-49ers.
San Francisco!
Start the year strong at InShape Fitness. Play basketball, try yoga or Pilates, or work with their personal trainers to create a happy new you. And look for Sacktown Sports Team before the next Kings game to grab your free Kings InShape Rally Towel. Join today at InShape.com. We are in shape. You are ready.
Fruit Ridge and Freeport. On the Freeport side.
I don't go to that area. I live in Roseville.
Well, you should.
Yes, you
Maybe
should.
you should enjoy Marie Callender.
Yeah, I love their pies. They were amazing. And they made great muffins too.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not.
They still do. You said the past tense. They still do. If you know where to go.
I'm not going. Unless they DoorDash it.
Okay.
Will they DoorDash it to Roseville?
That might be too far out of their jurisdiction.
I like how you asked him like he knows.
I know, and he actually he's the CEO.
Can you double check? Give them a call and let me know on the next break.
By the way, speaking of the next segment, Ian Begley's going to join us. He covers the Knicks and the Nets for SNY, and we'll see if he knows anything, since he covers the Nets as well as the Knicks, anything about this Cam Johnson stuff.
We want him.
Anything about that. Yeah.
We'll take him.
That's coming up. First, we need to fill in Phantom, Emran, on what's going on here with the big story today in card collecting. And it's such a big story that it's even
I'm sure like the Today Show will have something on it. I mean, it's that big. ESPN's all over it. Huge sports card news today.
There is a wonderful player, Paul Skeens, plays for the Pirates, also dating the massive influencer Livy Dunn. And they have what's called the MLB debut patch. It's a little insignia patch that sits on their shoulder that they put on for their very first game on the uniform. And so after the game is done, they hand the uniform to Fanatics, the global company of Major League Baseball's jerseys. They cut up the little piece, the little Major League debut piece. They put it and embed it inside of a card.
One card
in the world ever. Paul Skeens signs it, and then they slip it into one of the packs of a future buyer of that pack would open it up and pull it.
And those cards came out in the update, which was around
2024
September
Top Scrum
or something?
update. They started in September, and all players of that year, rookie cards, had their version of it. Ellie De La Cruz, Wyatt Langford,
Jackson Merrill, baby.
San Diego's own Jackson Merrill. So anybody that played for their very first major league game, they had them wearing this patch. They'd cut it up. So there's about 85 different players that had that. Paul Skeens being the most of interest. Second was Ellie De La Cruz. Ellie De La Cruz's card was pulled within the first 24 hours of the product coming out. Then other players over time, people were opening boxes and they got, Wyatt Langford and some of these other guys.
When it became known that Paul Skeens wanted the card himself.
Not only did he want the card, so did the Pirates.
Yes.
They said, we want this card. And so they put out a bounty. The bounty was, if you pull this card and you want to trade it back to us so we can take possession of it, we'll give you 30 years of Pirate tickets, which sounds like more of an insult than anything else.
Season tickets, yeah.
Season tickets, 2 seats behind home plate for the next 30 years. You get to meet Paul Skeens. He'll give you some autographed items. You and 29 other people can play on the field of the park, the Pittsburgh Pirates, in a charity game if you guys wanted to put that together. Livy Dunn says, hey, you can come and sit in my skybox with me on one of the games.
Seth Meyers got involved.
Seth Meyers said, if you let me hold it, I'll let you come to my show. We'll do a VIP. Like this whole package is together. And so people were like, where's this card? We've been opening these boxes for the last 4 months. There's nothing in here. People were thinking Topps is just pushing the sales and they'll enter it later. And so what ended up happening was this week it was announced by Topps that an 11-year-old kid had opened a pack and pulled this card. And Skeens and the Pirates were excited. They're going and saying, let's get in touch. Let's make this happen. And we found out today that the kid said, nah. Oh boy. And I think he's going to go to auction with it. And
on his own, the 11-year-old kid said, no, I think I'll take this to auction.
It's like the Wemby kid. Yeah. You know? The Wemby kid that took the Wemby thing to auction. But what I'm getting at is that like Ken Golden, it was competing. Ken Golden from Golden Auctions and the Pirates were going back and forth as to who was going to take possession of this. And Golden said, look, I'm going to give you a 6-figure advance. You go ahead and do it with us and we'll put it to auction, and our fee, as in Golden's fee, we will donate to the LA wildfires. And what happened. And so although it hasn't stated what the kid and his family have decided to do, they definitely rejected the Pirates. So
yeah, even though the Pirates, they offered 30 years of season tickets, they improved their offer to only 10.
Oh boy.
And it's still, this kid still said,
well, how are we negotiating? Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of been the conversation of the hobby right now, and we'll see what an 11-year-old and their family does.
You seem unfazed by this. He's big. You don't see him.
You okay?
I don't know why.
Can he hear anything?
I don't know. It's such a big deal. The kid's just going to hold you. Kid's parents are just going to hold them up for as much as they can get. Right?
Did you collect when you were young? Cards?
I had cards. I don't think I was a collector, but we didn't collect them. We just got them.
You just showed up.
You're just there. You just got cards. Okay.
Just kind of a. Not as organized, right? I mean, I remember let's get the
shoebox full of cards. Hey, those are cool cards.
Did you collect together, like trading your cards and stuff when you were young?
No, he was too cool. Yeah, by the time I was
decades older.
You're decades older.
Decades older.
He was too cool to baseball cards. Yeah.
Well, you were probably following all the rules and. My pack had 11 and yours had 12. I had to speak to Topps managers.
I was telling him last week though. When we've been around a while,
that's an understatement of history.
We get cards and what you didn't get a stick of gum. It was like you stick.
No, you got.
And if you're lucky, like I got a rock.
I got the rock. I got coal. Make something of it. That's what they'd say. Make something yourself.
Yeah, these kids, all I got was gum.
I got Roberto Clemente and Cole.
Yeah. That's how it used to be, Aaron. Yeah.
And we were better for it.
And we loved it.
Was it really true that you put the cards in your bicycle spokes? Was that
Oh, yeah.
Are we exaggerating?
I never did that, but
people did it all the time. Yeah.
My dad, God rest his soul, used to tell me he used to walk uphill in the snow both ways to school. Like, how is that even possible? These stories that you guys made up back then.
I don't know about your dad. It sounds like a shitty character. But the thing about the bicycle spokes is very true.
Yeah,
because people put cards in them all the time.
But why would you put Roger Maris or Mickey Mantle? You put some other no-name guy in there,
no,
right?
you weren't stupid about it. Come on.
People had no idea that they were going to be worth anything.
Yeah.
I always thought that was stupid because to me it's like, I got Lou Brock. Why would I want to?
Oh no, it been my Lou Brock, but that was your favorite player. So that's a little bit different.
But people did do it, and it did make it was like kind of a cool noise.
Like turbo. It was
Yeah.
You could rev up your engine and everything. Come on.
Yeah.
It was a simpler time then, my friend.
It was such a simple time. Back with muskets, light the musket. Cards in your spokes.
He had a General Custer rookie card.
I did, yeah.
So just out of curiosity, which tire did you use? The big humongous tire or the small one in the back?
No, it's on a big wheel. What's wrong with you?
No,
he's talking about those whole,
18 those bikes. Yeah. I was too old for those by the time they rolled around. Yeah.
You used to have. You ever heard of I think they're Hartsfield figures. You ever heard of those?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, you used to have those because I remember you used to have. They're like figurines of players, and they're really cool.
Those are nice.
And I think you had Willie Mays, but I don't think he had any arms.
No,
it was the
and
Willie DeMilo.
He still made catches you would not believe.
Yeah, and I think you had a Stan Musial that
Stan
also
Musial
was
one,
a state of disarray.
Well, I mean, they were again. These were game used. These were not. You didn't put them up there and keep them in the package. They're not Star Wars toys. Come on.
Oh, you were a Star Wars guy.
No, God.
I used to put the Star Wars guys in my bicycle spokes. No, I don't know.
Right.
That
would be dangerous.
Be a lot.
Really odd.
Pretty bulky.
Yeah. By the way, Jerry Reynolds is going to join our Friday fun time at 4:00.
Thank goodness.
Sometimes I like that guy.
Yeah. You think he's going to stay here the whole time? Or?
You invited him.
You're welcome to stay as long as
I feel it. I feel it already. Don't worry.
Door's right there in case you have
literally my wife. It's where we have our meetings, through that door.
Yes, don't you have to go and take care of your 2-year-old son since you're 47?
We're gonna go to Marie Callender's, so I gotta hurry up.
Fruit Ridge.
Jerry was supposed to be on with us today at 4. He comes on with us once a week. And then when I found out, no Drapes today and no Jay, and they'll be back next week. Everything's fine. Drapes is with the team. But I asked Phantom to come in. And then when I knew Phantom was going to come in, I asked Jerry, hey, if you want to come in, he's like, what's the best time? He said, so what's the best time?
When Emery
What
leaves.
did you say to him?
As soon as Emery leaves, and Jerry's been on hold for the last 25 minutes.
I wish it was 3:41.
Ian Begley was going to join us, covers the Knicks and the Nets for SNY. What is going on with the Kings and Cam Johnson? We'll see if we can't find out next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Breezy on the west side of the valley throughout the day Saturday. Highs will be in the mid-50s. We'll watch for some scattered showers in the afternoon and evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Happy New Year! Coach Christie here letting you know it's never been easier to drive into the new year in a new Kia. Take advantage of special low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit right now at Folsom Lake Kia.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell, the Retirement Security Centers with the Weekly Economic Update. This is a big week for investors as they may be getting a glimpse into the goals of the new administration in Washington. President Trump announced some joint ventures with a focus on artificial intelligence infrastructure called Stargate, with investments up to $500 billion pledged. The goal is to create up to 100,000 U.S. jobs. These investments will include data centers. These data centers are projected to consume between 6 to 12% of the electricity used by the U.S. by the year 2028. The energy infrastructure in the U.S. will also need to be boosted to accommodate the increased energy demand. The president declared a national energy emergency due to concerns over high fuel prices, the need to accelerate energy infrastructure, and with the hope that it will help revitalize U.S. manufacturing and block foreign energy imports. By expediting energy-related projects, there is bound to be some pushback from environmental groups, so this story is far from written. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic FA Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Osaic FA is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic FA.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from my good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally, $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at the AEway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, it's a Friday free-for-all today. Drapes traveling with the Kings to New York, and Jay is out today, so we got, as I mentioned, Ramsey. And look who's joining us here. The great Jerry Reynolds steps in. Ramsey is keeping us on the air. Emran Pilati is with us, and the Phantom is here. And Jerry Reynolds just stepped in. Hey, Coach, how are you?
Jerry.
By the way, before we get to our special guest, we have this in the chat, Phantom. Campio wants to know, he says, I can't believe Phantom came into the studio to do the show knowing he would miss his viewing of Gunsmoke episodes today. So
DVR? Hello? Huh? There's this really good one, Marshall Dillon.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
How are you, Coach? Good. Thanks for coming in. Yeah. Nice stuff to join us. He covers the Knicks and the Nets for SNY. He's the host of The Putback. Ian Begley, nice enough to join us. Ian, thank you so much for your time. What can you tell us about the Nets and the Kings' #1 trade target, Cam Johnson? We are starving for any tidbit of information, Ian.
The one thing that I know is the Nets, I don't think they're like fully married to the idea of trading Cam Johnson. I think there's a price that they'd want any team to meet in order for them to move on from Cam Johnson. Obviously, he's had a fantastic season, and they are starting a rebuild, so it would make sense for them to deal him. But going back weeks now, we keep hearing from other teams that the price is high, and I don't know if they'll come down as you get closer to the deadline. And we know Sacramento probably will be there. Maybe Memphis will be there knocking on the Nets door trying to get Cam Johnson. But I wonder if at the end of this thing, just nobody ends up meeting the Nets price, because that's happened in the past at deadlines with some of their other veterans like Dorian Finney-Smith and others. So, yeah, remains to be seen, but they are certainly having conversations.
Ian, I know some of this that you hear this time of year is posturing, but it is true, right? I mean, if the Nets don't move Cam, he still would fit in with their timeline of what they're trying to accomplish.
I believe so, and I know he's highly regarded as a player and a person by that organization. And just my opinion, I mean, he's one of those guys that you'd want around if you're rebuilding, if you're trying to build a culture, establish some things. But at the same time, he's making a sizable money, and maybe the Nets feel like they're not in position right now to pay that money to any one player, and they see the assets there as advantageous. But if it was me, I would certainly keep Cam Johnson in my building if I was rebuilding.
Ian, turning our attention to the Knicks, the Kings take them on tomorrow night. You know, you make the big deal over the summer. They get the new player, Karl Anthony Towns, and they're wondering how long is it going to take for them to gel. Obviously, they've gelled. Both of them are playing. You have two All-Stars. How long did it really take for them to get together and get that all set up? And right now, 6-6 in the last 12. What's the state of that right now?
Yeah, I think they're still coming together. I mean, they've had really good stretches against teams that, you know, you go into that game thinking they're going to beat. They haven't beaten some of the teams ahead of them in the standings. And so I think it's still a work in progress. But one thing that I think has worked so well is Karl Anthony Towns coming here and immediately knowing that this is Jalen Brunson's team, saying it's Jalen Brunson's team, saying that he's, he wants to just help Jalen Brunson. And when you have that kind of a pecking order where there's not two guys who are kind of vying for the face of the franchise, it just makes things easier. And I really credit Towns for that. And then you go on the court, and Towns has been fantastic. But you're talking about those last 12 games, the defense has not been good. It's not been consistent. And so the Knicks are going to obviously have their hands full tomorrow night with Sacramento. And you're getting a Karl Towns who has a thumb injury, and he's been back for 2 games. Hasn't shot it well from distance. I believe he's a combined 1 for 9 from deep. Has done really well inside the arc. But, you know, this team, I think there's a lot of questions still to be answered from this Knicks team.
We're catching up with Ian Begley, host of the Putback. He covers the Knicks and the Nets for SNY. Ian, how does Coach Tibbs feel about coaching a team that's second in offensive rating but 17th in defensive rating?
Look, I think if you asked him that question, if I asked him that question, I would predict that he would say, I just want to win games. It's about our record. And you know, the defense, obviously, this is a much different team than it was last year. Last year, it was defense. It was offensive rebounding. It was hustle plays. And this group is not that strong from an offensive rebounding perspective. They're going to outscore you, but they're not going to, on a nightly basis, be the better defensive team. So it's such a different equation. But I think Thibodeau, I think he likes having Towns back a lot. He likes having a weapon like that, and the idea that they can go out and just dominate on the offensive end of the floor. I would assume he's happy about it because they have won some games here.
Ian, talking about Jalen Brunson, usually we can see superstars coming. You know, they kind of let us know. You know, I know he was a great college player, but you know this guy's going to be a superstar when they move to the next level. He kind of took a little bit longer than most to establish himself, and still, it's really kind of hard to believe how good he really is when you're watching him play at his size. What is the one or two things that he have that makes him able to go up to that level and be a superstar?
I mean, the footwork that he has to get his shot off, I mean, it's just remarkable. So you look at his ability on the floor. He's a great shot maker, getting into the paint or from the perimeter, and he knows how to get to his spots. And then you combine that with the idea that it sounds cliche, right? But for Jalen, it makes sense. He just was never satisfied with where he was yesterday, where he was 2 weeks ago. He's always looking to improve, and that kind of sets the tone for this group internally. But I think when you have a player with his ability and his mindset, it was just a matter of him getting this opportunity with the ball in his hands to show what he can do, and he's certainly done that here in New York.
Wanted to ask you, Ian, about the Kings going in there tomorrow night. And, of course, you got Doug Christie leading the former Knick, Doug Christie, leading the Kings in there. I know you're focused on what's going on back east, but what have you made of the way the Kings have turned things around under Doug Christie?
Is it too late for Doug Christie to get the Coach of the Year award? Can we start that campaign, or is it too late? I don't know what the minimum is for games, but it's been remarkable, right? And I mean, you guys have seen it from afar. I thought the pace, it seems a bit different. I thought there was some frustration with the pace of Mike Brown and his offense, and you're seeing it look different now with Doug Christie. And talked to the Knicks today. I went up to practice, and they know that they have their hands full. They know they have a big test on their hands, and this is obviously a different Kings team than the one that was playing under Mike Brown. So it's interesting to me because they are in position, right, to add a significant piece at the deadline. And I think if I had to guess, there's motivation to do that because of the De'Aaron Fox situation. You want to show that you're on a winning track. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks there for the Kings, but you have to give the players and Christie credit for the way they've turned things around.
Ian, if I could ask you to speculate, what do you think the asking price is for Cam? A couple of number ones? And again, I know you may not know exactly, I'm not holding you to this, but how high do you think the price is right now?
Sure. So if I had to guess, the Nets are not looking to impact their future cap situation in any way. They want to maintain their flexibility, and they have a lot of cap space this summer and beyond. So because of that, I would assume that they're looking for draft compensation. And then you're looking at, I would think 2 1s, or maybe they would take back a younger player on a rookie contract, and then you figure out the rest of the salaries with expiring deals. But I do know, or I strongly believe that they're not looking to mess up the cap situation that they've established here. So I can't see them, taking on a player in the middle of his career with 4 years on his deal. I just don't think that's what they're looking for.
Ian, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy the game tomorrow night.
My pleasure, fellas. Take care.
You too. Yeah. The great Jerry Reynolds is with us.
Yes.
We'll find out what's up with Jerry when we come right back. It's the Drive Guys Friday Fiesta on Sacktown Sports.
Online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And now, brief history of the garage door. Garage doors could date back to 450 BC. Some people here remember that, right, Phantom? When chariots were stored in gatehouses. Here in the States, they became a thing around the start of the 20th century. Is that right? Yeah. And you could find a float-over door in a catalog way back in 1906. Phantom says, yep, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
I'm taking a lot of strays here. Okay.
Well, this is
I had one of those
advertisements.
Yes, I know it is.
Yeah.
With you, we can never tell.
National Garage Door has been around since 1974. firmly, actually, I'm going to say family, owned and operated, so you can trust them to solve any garage door issues you may have. Squeaky door, malfunctioning door, or need for a new door, which is what prompted us to give them a call, 916-638-4554. At National Garage Door, service is their number one priority. I have witnessed that commitment in my own home, certainly in our garage. National Garage Doors sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They are the region's BSE, broken spring experts. So if you have a garage door that looks and sounds like it dates back to 450 BC, National Garage Door can help. Whether it's a garage door tune-up, repair, or replacement you need, they'll take care of you at National Garage Door. 916-638-4554, National Garage Door.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center this week. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair. Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Listen for the Toyota Tahoe Report every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with Johnny Mosley to get the latest weather conditions in Tahoe throughout this snow season. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports 1140. The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Drive guys, Zimmer Pilati, the Phantom today, and look who has joined us. Wow, it's really a party now.
Well, yeah, because he gets first billing.
Well, I just have to mention
terrible.
first, saving the best for last.
Yes.
Kings icon Jerry Reynolds in studio today. Thank you, Coach, for coming in.
It's great, just listen to you guys coming in, and of course, glad to know him and knows when 3:00 is.
Dinner time for you.
You'll find Jerry, he does not.
Did I interrupt?
Time.
You drove in here from dinner. All right.
No, that would have been normally about 4:30, Smarty. So you're going to make fun of senior citizens and just get it over with.
It's Senior Citizen Day. Pete Carroll, me and Jerry.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What did you make of what Ian Begley had to tell us about the possibility of Cam Johnson coming to the Kings? The Kings could sure use him. I know we've talked about that. Looks like the Nets are, we don't need to trade him, but there's so much posturing going on. What do you think of the chances of something happening, Jerry?
Doesn't sound very good to me because, all they want's picks, and certainly they don't want salaries.
Yeah.
So
not a
there's
good
that,
fit,
and then his salary's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's an issue as well. I mean, I really like him. I think he's a really good player. But I guess my other question would be, why wouldn't they keep him? He's young.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like good grief. What are you on a 15-year program or something?
Yeah, you got a 28-year-old who shoots 40-something%
Yeah,
three, and he can defend.
He really shouldn't even be in his prime. So you'd assume he's probably got 5-6 of his best years ahead. And I don't know, the general manager or majority of the coach, just what their timeline might be.
That's right. Yeah. Isn't that one reason why GMs are so willing to trade like picks 6 years down the road? Because I won't be here. What do I care?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Hey, wait till Pete Carroll gets hold of that. He's trading stuff 2 years
Well,
down
I've
the
always
road.
said in the NBA, if you've got a 5-year plan, you have no plan.
Mm-hmm,
because I mean, it better happen sooner than that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So if Cam Johnson is going to be that difficult to attain, then I guess we circle back to the guy we've been talking about a lot with you, John Collins, who's actually younger than Cam, which I didn't really. Kyle Draper pointed that out to me. I was like, no, he is. Okay.
Now, as you recall, I pointed it out to Draper.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Nicely played, Jerry.
All
yes,
right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He's an Eagle fan. What are you going to do? I mean, he's just coming into his own. I think. I think he'd be the best fit, really, because he's an athlete, fairly long, and can shoot threes and has proven to be able to play center at times. Very effectively.
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Basketball?
It seems that he was available for so long that it kind of devalued his value as a player. You kind of lost sight over who he was as a player because he's always been on the trade block. We talked about it earlier. It seems like he's been on the trade block for like 6 years now. No one's ever made the move for him. So, yeah, I mean, if Johnson's not available, he would be the logical next move right there.
Mm-hmm. You a John Collins guy, Emmerich?
I'm for him in the sense of what he could bring to the table. When Utah played against us, and I do know that he plays for Utah, unlike Jonas Valanciunas, who I thought played for Memphis until he moved to the Wizards.
He used to.
Yeah. I was really impressed with his 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting to have a guy like that was really a jumper and a high flyer have such 3-point shooting prowess. I mean, he's not leading the league like Domas, which is wild, but adding another guy that could shoot. I've been watching Keegan now for the last month, slightly be off with his 3-point shot. It's maybe coming back a little bit.
Back around,
yeah, but you could just see from the bottom of the screen when you're watching on TV, it's slightly off to the right, and I would just love to have another 3-point shooter.
Turn your head.
Yeah, if you could just go a move in the TV. I think that's what it is.
You want to get off the couch or something and sit up a little bit.
An interesting tidbit, I think, would be to me not to have Mr. Basketball over here. He'd probably gloss over him, but actually, John Collins' numbers are better in every category than Lauri Markkanen.
Really?
He's
at a fraction of the cost.
The finisher?
His 2-point percentage, his 3-point percentage, rebounds per minute, clearly better. His scoring, he scores 1.5 points less, but he's playing less minutes. So even that's probably better. And he's clearly a better defender.
Yeah. But he's not. That's been a knock against him.
Yeah.
Not a great defender or.
Well, I think it was, in my opinion. And, what happened was he came to the league as a center.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they got Clint Capella, he had to change his his position, and I think he struggled at that for a while. And I think the struggle's over.
Yeah.
I think he's made the adjustment because he really wasn't a consistent outside shooter coming out of Wake Forest because he'd always been a center.
I want to ask you about John Collins because I remember this when the three of us used to do the old-fashioned three.
Old-fashioned three.
And I think we were done doing one. We were just talking about John Collins, who I think might have still been on the Hawks at the time. And I think Phantom was asking, well, how come he never gets traded? And I said, I don't think the Hawks like him. And you would know, and you said, I don't think that's it at all. So they were trying to trade him, but it wasn't because they didn't like him, right?
No, I think what happened, and I'm pretty sure actually what happened was they'd signed a contract, and of course they got Capella, so that changed his role, and then they drafted DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah,
about that time, lottery pick, and so they kind of saw that as a conflict. In other words, it's kind of like the trading Herder instead of Bogdanovich. It's right. You just had too many of a good thing.
Redundancy. Yes. Yeah. Emron has the trade all worked out for us.
Yeah. So I was playing around on the trade machine online, and John Collins' salary is a little over $26 million. The two salaries that match this would probably need some draft capital behind it, but Herder and Lyles match the salary requirements for that trade. So they're, you probably have to add a second rounder, a first rounder, or whatever it be.
That's the whole thing right there.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if the Kings stay consistent in where they're at, they're going to be in the 20s anyways. And where often do you see a player in the 20s be impactful in a general rotation? Not very often.
No, but there are second rounders sometimes that end up being good players. We'll see what Jerry would do. The guy who actually has done this. He's been paid to actually do this. We all talk about it. He's done it. How much would he give up for John Collins? We got that when we come right back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way 30.
Don't miss the excitement of 49ers game day. Secure your spot at Levi's Stadium for the 2025 season.
20, one block and he's in.
Season tickets are available now. Inventory is limited, so to speak with a representative, call 415-GO-49ers.
Touchdown!
That's 415-GO-49ers.
San Francisco!
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Aaron Pilati says what?
I'm leaving after this one. I've got to go to Marie Callender's.
Okay. Yeah, you got to stick around because you just had a great question for Jerry. I hope you stick around. Aaron Pilati, Mr. Basketball, the Phantom. And what do you think, Jerry Reynolds with us, of his Phantom's Anaheim Amigos t-shirt?
I was very impressed, because I'm probably the only other person in the Sacramento area that remembered the Anaheim Amigos.
There you go. Yeah.
And
I knew you'd appreciate it.
Yeah. The old ABA days.
Dan Issa was amazed at somebody wearing an Anaheim Amigos shirt.
Yeah, well, he should have been. He used to kick their butts, when he was with the Kentucky Colonels.
Yes. Yeah. We were just asking Jerry how much he would be willing to give up draft-wise, compensation-wise, for John Collins. Before you answer, I know you had a great question.
Yeah, my question asked during the break was, Jerry, what was the best trade that you were involved in the Kings history?
It was Billy Owens for Mitch Richmond.
I remember that draft as a little boy. I was, what year was Billy Owens drafted?
Here's another age flex.
93?
Mr. Age flex.
91?
Maybe 92. I'm not even sure.
It was the same draft as, I'm trying to think. No, that was the Lionel Simmons draft with Derek Coleman.
Derek Coleman was first.
Was it that year?
Yeah.
Billy Owens was that year?
Billy Owens was third. Kenny Anderson.
That's what it was. I wanted Kenny Anderson, the lefty.
Kenny Anderson was second.
And I remember when he got picked up, I was like, oh, no.
Yeah, I thought Kenny was going to be, and he was good, but, as it turned out.
We're off by a year. Derek Coleman's year was LaSalle, Lionel Simmons.
Lionel
year.
Simmons year. That's right.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
correct.
So I'm trying to think who the number 1 pick was that year.
Oh, what? Yeah. Well, Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, I never heard of him.
Yeah.
Was Billy Owens the Shaquille O'Neal year? Wow.
No. Lionel's year was Shaquille.
1991 NBA draft.
Yeah, check it out.
Larry Johnson, number 1.
Yeah.
Kenny Anderson, Billy Owens. Not today. Dikembe,
Mutombo.
Steve Smith, Doug Smith, Luke Longley, Mark Macon, Stacey Ogman, and Brian Williams. Who ended up, that was Bison Daly, right?
Yeah, Brian Williams.
Yeah.
It's a running joke, Jerry, that I Mitch Richmond hurt my soul when I was a little boy. When I came up to him and tried to get an autograph, and he was like, "Not now, kid." So I'm scarred by that. But how hard was that trade to make happen? This guy that's been with the Kings for, I believe it was 1 year before you traded him.
No, we just drafted him.
He never played for. He played for the Kings.
No, he never played for the Kings.
Billy Owens.
We drafted him.
He came back later. He played.
That's
for
what
him,
I meant.
right?
Yeah.
They came back. We traded Walt Williams later. For Billy Owens later, and Billy came back and helped us.
So a 1-for-1 trade. You got Billy Owens for Mitch Richmond. Mitch was already established All-Star. How'd you pull that off?
Well, it's one of those things that's kind of strange because Don Nelson had, wanted the rights to Billy Owens, and we'd talked. That's why I drafted him because
you already knew.
Yeah, and so, but then he got some cold feet. But then again, went kind of readdressed it as soon as you get him signed, and then we'll do it. Nelly always, bless his heart, he had Jerky around a little bit.
Yeah,
he
was Nelly. Yeah,
he just couldn't feel good about himself. so anyway, but that was the deal. And I said, but of course, he didn't want to trade Mitch. And I said, no, that's who
we already said this is going to happen. You got to finish through.
Yeah, this is the guy, and and it's one of those things to where surprisingly, like in the Bay Area, a lot of the writers say, "Oh, that's a great trade for the Warriors and all that," and it's like I didn't see any risk. Mitch had been Rookie of the year before, and then he was averaging 23 or 4 a game his second year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd coached against him one game, and he, we held him to 44. I think it was.
That's coaching. Yeah,
yeah, he just kicked Danny Ainge's butt. Just terrible. And so, yeah, I didn't see any risk there. And like I say, it was one of those things that was unpopular. It was very popular in Sacramento, very unpopular in the Bay because everybody just assumed we didn't know what we're doing.
People still assume that about the Kings sometimes, don't they?
Well, they'd be right a lot. They weren't on that particular occasion.
And if you don't mind, Whitey, the second question that I asked was what bad trade or one that you regret, but you said that the trade wasn't really the aspect. It was the drafting that you maybe would have done something different.
Yeah, definitely. I made 1 year. We had 4 first-round picks, and really considering the kind of career some of the late guys had, it turned out okay, except for Travis Mays was the 14th pick.
4 first rounders that year.
4 first round. He was a 14th pick, and we thought he was going to be an awfully good player, like a lot of people did. He
was out of Texas, right?
Out of Texas. People said the next Joe Dumars. Well,
so it was Coswell, Anthony Bonner, and L. Train.
Coswell was 18th, and Bonner was 23rd,
mm-hmm.
and both of them, played for a long time.
Yeah.
Pretty good career.
And Travis Mays did you try to change him position?
Well, he was small. See, coming out of college, he was a small 6'2" guard.
Yeah.
And then so he needed to be a playmaker. We found out pretty short.
He's not a playmaker.
That he really wasn't a very good playmaker, or really wasn't that good a scorer either. So, but
he's not good at defense and not an offense. So,
but it was I was pretty lucky. We were able to turn him into Spud Webb, who really had some really good years for us.
That's great.
Very good player, and and Travis was traded to Atlanta, and I think he was out of the league in about another year.
Yeah. I know I wanted to ask you about how much you'd give up for John Collins, but on this topic of things that you've done, I think I know the answer to this, but what's the best trade that you wanted to make that for whatever reason you were not allowed to make?
Was for Jeff Hornacek when he was in Philly.
Okay. I thought it would have been Detlef Schrempf.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, that would have even been better. Yeah, I mean, but there were those two just were heartbreakers for me.
Because you had them all set? Yeah.
I thought they were all ready to go.
Yeah.
And then found out that they weren't. And so,
Is the
especially
finances
at
or
the-
just the ownership just didn't have the appetite for it?
Well,
or-
I think there was, especially with Detlef, it was a case of the ownership knew that he's going to be coming up for a contract within a year. And I always remember discussing with the owner at that time and the president of the team, and we were talking about it. And he said, well, he's going to want a lot of money. I said, yeah, he's good. That's what happens. He's good. We can get not good guys cheaper.
And yet your argument did not carry the day.
No,
He did not. No,
Was he a Sonic or was he a Portland
he
Trailblazer at
he
the
was
time?
a Sonic at that time, and end up. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Because he started with the Mavs.
No, you know what? He was He was
Pacers?
with the Pacers.
Mm.
He was with the Pacers, and the reason I knew we could get him was because Larry Brown. Larry has to change rosters every 6 months.
You can't stay with him. Same players. Then he doesn't show how good of a
And
coach he is.
So so I ended up trading him to the Sonics for Derek McKee, who was a very good player.
I always liked Derek
So it
McKee,
wasn't
yeah.
a bad. I think Shrek better, but
Yeah,
it still worked out okay.
Derek McKee, who was traded for Pippen,
And-
if I'm not mistaken. Derek McKee, was he? Yeah, it was the Pippen trade before Pippen ever played for the Sonics.
Yeah. How about, Jerry, if you were even consultant with the Kings, it's like, we're talking with Utah about John Collins. How much draft capital would you be willing to give up for John Collins?
Well, I'd give up, if in fact they wanted the salary matching, which my guess is they wouldn't, to be honest. And because actually Trey Lyles was a lottery pick for them years ago. That's where he started.
Oh, yes. Right.
So, but as I recall,
and both those contracts match. So
Yeah,
Colin
they-
has 2 years, and the other two guys
Yeah.
that I mentioned have 2 years as well.
My understanding is, and I'm no capologist, the Kings would have to trade both those guys for Collins to stay under the luxury tax.
Yes.
Which they have shown an appetite for doing in the recent past.
So I that's what I say.
Yeah.
But if in fact Danny Ainge would do that, and the only way he would if he could move them on as part of another deal, which maybe he could.
Yeah.
So if you want to be hypothetical, and it clearly is, I'd give up a protected first in 3 or 4 years down the road.
Yeah.
for exactly the same thing we're talking about. It's like, hey, this team, it's got a window, but it probably isn't any more than a 4-year window. And so
DeMar is 34. If he's going to be a key piece, you got to look at that age and say,
well, I don't
this
know
is
that
something-
you can say that, but certainly with Fox, Monk, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Keon
Mid to
Ellis,
late- mid to
Keon-
late
I mean,
20s.
your core is young, and to where you could say, if we can add a few pieces, well, obviously with DeRozan, you'd figure in a couple of years you might have to.
Phantom, what were you doing
replace
when you
him.
were 34?
Oh, boy, that was a long time ago. Man, I don't know. Wow. I think I ran a card shop or something. Jerry, I know your favorite team to the South. I just heard yesterday that Mr. Davis says he needs to find a center. He needs to they need another center. He doesn't want to be center anymore. Do you think that they might look at this John Collins? As you said, he played well as a center with the Hawks. Maybe he would be on their radar as well.
I think they're looking for a different kind of center. I think they're looking more for Walker Kessler.
Okay.
The 7-foot shot blocker who doesn't score and doesn't need to score, which is exactly what Davis would want to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't shoot it. Give me the ball.
Give me the ball. You block
the
that
ball and
guy.
give it to me.
You guard the center.
You guard him.
Protect the basket and stay out of the way.
Get the rebound, throw it to me. Yeah.
And get a putback down there. No, he's kind of a different version of Rudy Gobert type thing. I don't know if he's as good or worse. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know that John would fit them per se. But on the Davis thing, it's like he said, that's when I played my best. I'm not sure that's true. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, he just really doesn't want to
go
play
stand
center.
next to the basket.
Yeah, because he pointed out, when we won the championship, we had JaVale McGee and we had Dwight Howard, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Those two are the keys.
Well,
two game breakers.
Yeah, you can get those fellas back if you need them.
I don't think they're doing anything right now. You can do it right now.
Yeah. The Lakers are kind of playing hate to say it, but they're not playing badly right now.
They're a pretty good team.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Hachimura's a player. But,
Mhm.
you know, Reeves, I mean, you know, the guy's a baller. You know, getting rid of D'Angelo Russell was a plus.
Yep. Funny how that happens.
I'm not sure that Dorian Finney-Smith, you know, it's like for a while, all of a sudden, I get Dorian Finney-Smith. But I was thinking, really? That
kind of looks
excites you?
lost. Yeah.
I mean, he's a player, but he's not a needle mover. I mean, you know, if you have to play him 35 minutes a night and counting on him for anything big money or numbers wise, you're going to be sorely disappointed.
What do you think is a potential fit for the Kings? Jonas Valanciunas. There's a lot of fans that just really love the idea. I know there's been talk of the Kings bringing in a wing and a center. See, I'm guessing some of that might be because the Kings figured to get the wing, they might have to give up Lyles, in which case they need a center. So maybe one's dependent on the other. I don't know. But what kind of centers that we think are available, putting John Collins aside for a minute, do you think might fit here? Would Valanciunas be a fit for the Kings?
You know, I think he could be. I don't know that he'd be ideal. I mean, I think he and Sabonis could play together some. People say, well, you know, Valanciunas can shoot the ball out on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a decent 3-point shooter, and certainly he can guard. He'd have to guard the post, which is really and he's a pretty good rim protector, better than Domas. Now, he can't cover out on the floor like Domas. But then the other part of it is Domas was 2-time All-Star in Indiana playing power forward.
Yeah.
With Miles Turner, who was, you know, basically it would take some creativity on Coach Christie's part, but to make it work. But I think he's up to the challenge. I would say, you know, that probably Valanciunas would be better probably off the bench playing behind Domas and then some with Domas, you know. But you'd have and he's a tough buckaroo. You know, he'll sting somebody now and then. And,
that's what I thought Kings fans wanted.
And then Kings are short of stingers. You know,
we need to sting somebody.
Yeah. How about Robert Williams, Time Lord?
Well, I mean, does he play basketball?
When he does, though.
Bench Lord.
When he does, though.
Yeah.
When he does, though, Jerry.
When he does, he can't be a when he does kind of guy, Jerry. You know that. Come on.
Yeah, no, I mean, Zion's really good when he plays.
I didn't beat
Brandon Ingram is really good when he
yeah.
plays. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that are good when they play. I would think, you know, I've always said, you know, it's interesting when you put those guys on paper, but they don't play. It doesn't help you.
I guess that's right.
But
you would know.
I guess he would
done
know.
it for a living. Yeah.
Well,
Jerry
the Kings
Reynolds.
are really lucky there. They're you know, they got guys that want to trot out there and play. Amazing.
Jerry Reynolds, of course, the Phantom. Emerson Pilati, are you out of here?
I'm out of here.
All right. So is your show on tomorrow?
It is.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
Just to let you know.
Good to know. Yeah.
You'll be there. And then I'll be in Fairfield for the card show. Just as a side note, I asked if you were going to go, and you go, you know what? My uncle was the mayor of Fairfield.
It's true. Yes.
True.
It's true?
Yeah.
And so I said, well, does that mean you're going? He goes, I can't go there. People are going to be bugging me and stopping me and trying to take pictures. So we'll miss you.
Okay. Thanks.
We'll miss you.
Thanks. Yes.
Thanks for letting me hang out with you
A lot
guys.
of pictures, autographs, things.
Yes.
Mayor's nephew. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's me, guys. All right.
You signed my Mayor's Nephew t-shirt.
Oh, no. Again?
Yeah. We're going to ask Jerry about, you know, that commercial with 40 years ago, the G-Man narrates, and they show the Kings walking into the arena. Have you know the commercial? And they show Eddie, and I think it's LaSalle Thompson. The looks on their faces. I see that. I go, what were those guys thinking? So I want to ask Jerry what he and the other players, what they were thinking when they first came to Sacramento, what they thought of this place 40 years ago. We got that coming up here with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Breezy on the west side of the valley throughout the day Saturday. Highs will be in the mid-50s. We'll watch for some scattered showers in the afternoon and evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The new year is here. Time for a new car. Coach Christie here urging you to upgrade to a new Kia right now. You might even end up with a lower payment. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino. With over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. While supplies last. See store at Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram and Woodland. What's going on, Chad, for the Start Something New sales event?
We're going all out with the most savings I've seen on new Ram heavy duties in a long time. Right now, you can save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Rebel Crew Cabs.
$16,000 off MSRP on heavy duties? That doesn't happen often.
That's why we've been California's #1 Ram truck dealer year after year. Some call themselves the Super Ram Truck Center, but when you need a hard-to-find Ram heavy duty, Hoblet has it with over 400 new Ram trucks available.
See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$16,000 total net savings on select new 2024 Ram 2500 Rebel after $6,500 factory rebates and $9,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $3,000 Hoblet Select coupons while supplies last. $500 on the job upfit. Must show business and upfit docs. And up to $2,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance for 2005 or newer and 160,000 mile or less vehicle. While supplies last, not everyone will qualify for all rebates. To with this net savings, VINs 1-866-247-186-248. See dealer for details.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center this week. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Lock in your seats today at monsterjam.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
What a Friday today. Al Draper with the Kings on the road. Jay on assignment today had something he had to take care of. He's taking care of that. So we got Ramsey in today. We got Emerald Pilati just left. See him in Fairfield tomorrow. Be listening for his show tomorrow. We have the fan of Mr. Basketball and Jerry Reynolds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
MVP Ramsey.
Yes. Well, now you're showing him some respect. A while ago, you said, I don't know who that guy is, but he's pretty good.
I didn't, but I got to know him over the couple of 1,000 hours I was here avoiding the other guy.
You are an influencer, Phantom. That's what you are.
I am.
Because you have your Anaheim Amigos shirt on, and the great Tony Ray Harvey just texted me a picture of the sweatshirt that he just ordered. I believe it's a sweatshirt or a crew.
It's a crew, I think.
Amigos of Anaheim, and he got his name on the back.
Yes, it's very
There
nice.
you go. And he had no idea there even was a team called the Anaheim Amigos until you wore that shirt today.
And his next one should be Pittsburgh Pipers.
Pittsburgh Pipers.
Yes.
Pittsburgh Pipers.
Absolutely. The first champion of the ABA.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Speaking of teams with funky names, isn't there in the is it the Unrivaled? There's a team called the Phantom.
There most definitely is.
Yeah.
Who's on that squad? Because I am now a big fan.
Do you know Ramsey?
Yeah, there is definitely a team named the Phantom.
But you know who's on that team? I mean, I can look it up.
I know Sabrina Ionesco for sure is on that team, and I think her Oregon teammate Satu Sabali as well. I'll double check the other four.
Okay, they're not the Phantoms, I don't think, but they're the Phantom.
That's close enough.
Yeah, but
That's
are you
close enough?
You getting anything out of that? You get any?
No, it's the same as the fireworks. I get nothing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's too bad. Yeah.
The opera, nothing.
Yeah, but you
I
didn't
get
even know
nothing.
that, huh?
No.
They didn't even check with you.
Yeah, the
No,
opera.
they didn't even call. A courtesy call, Jerry. Like, can
Yeah.
we use it? Yeah, fine. Go ahead. I don't want your league to succeed. Go ahead. I'll be all right with it. I'm magnanimous.
You know, it's a big weekend for Jerry because
it is.
Kings, of course, playing this, tomorrow, and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, I'm with you on that. We're Chiefs fans as well.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and
The in-laws are from.
me and Caitlin Clark. We're big.
Oh
fans.
yeah, you guys. Put you guys together a lot.
Yeah.
The
but
tabloids.
yeah, it's an exciting time. My son Jay's a huge fan. He's been a loyal fan. I've told you, when I moved to Kansas City back in '75, the Chiefs were pretty good. And I became a fan and that stayed with them most of the time. And then, of course, like I turned on them when they.
Of course you did.
And then now I'm a front runner. I've never denied that. So I'm back on board with them. And
Was that Lynn Dawson? Was that the Lynn Dawson Chiefs, or was he already gone by then?
he was he was gone by then. He had a radio show, actually, a talk show. I was on his show a few times.
Oh,
And
cool.
Real, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
You know what I always appreciated about him? I just thought this is the way you do it. And I know 49er fans didn't care for this, but Joe Montana went to of course, traded to the Chiefs, number 16, and they go to Lenny Dawson's like, hey, can he wear your retired number? Lenny Dawson said, no, that's my number.
No.
Get a different number.
Yeah,
you
that's
retired it for a reason.
I was a Chief at number 16, and I retired my number because I was great.
I guess it's, it's etiquette now. You're supposed to go, oh, okay. But I don't blame him for saying, I'm sorry, it's my number. It's retired.
Absolutely. That's why, he's Lynn Dawson.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's not Elvis Gerback. He's Lynn Dawson.
Yeah. Jerry, I have to ask you about this. Speaking of moving from Kansas City, there's a commercial that the Kings air now, and it's really well done. Of course, the G-Man narrates, and they show scenes of Sacramento in 1985, and he says, this was our city. And then they show the, Arco one, and they show it. To me, it looks like the first time the Kings were introduced, and they show some players walking out on the floor, and it doesn't look like there was a game. But I think Eddie Johnson, you can see him walking out. I think he has like a old school golf sweater over his jersey and a golf hat. And I think Tank's behind him, and they're just looking like they're not sure what's going on, which I could totally understand. What was it like? What did you and the players think when you first came out to Sacramento?
Well, number one, that scene, which I recall exactly, exactly the timing and the situation, that was at American River College.
Oh, okay.
Is actually when the team came in for its first practice.
Okay.
In Sacramento, before actually even the movement had officially, was official. It's kind of but anyway.
Oh,
that's
really?
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so everybody's like, what is this?
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people there and everything. So, but as far as first impressions, I can tell you what my first impression was. I always remember moving in and everything and looking around and seeing all these TV antennas. And I said, what? Everybody, they didn't really have cable television. Didn't have ESPN, in French Lick, Indiana, had ESPN and cable television before Sacramento, all the political stuff.
Of course,
but
California
it's like,
being what it is.
wow, that's back to the 50s almost. So that was kind of a capital Sacramento or capital California and everything,
Well, what was, the first Arco, like you say, obviously the bandbox, we loved it, it's there every game. Well,
you literally were there every game.
Every game was there every game. You came from the Midwest, obviously basketball hotbeds. How did Arco Arena strike you the first time you went in there with the fans and everything, as far as compared to, what you'd come from in college and junior college in the Midwest?
Well, it was really reminded me of it.
Yeah.
I just thought you was back, in Indiana. I mean, the atmosphere, fans, being in their seats. Soon as players come out to warm up, half hour before the game, they'd be there cheering.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It's like, it certainly was more like a college or really importantly, a high school game where such a religion there, where people be, camping or, cooking out and stuff like that.
That was like your seminal moments as a basketball person, right? Being in gyms like that.
Oh yeah. And I mean, and what would be, and there's a lot of high school gyms in Indiana bigger than than 10,000 feet. I mean, there was even in, like about every little town, high school I went to is 350 in high school, and the gym seat 3,800, and it'd be full. I don't know where they all come from.
I remember talking to, I think it was Bob Whitsitt, the general manager. I think it was.
He was assistant general manager. Joe Axelson was general manager and president both.
I remember I was in the Bay Area and I was doing an interview on the radio with Mr. Whitsitt about this new team coming in. I remember asking him about, how are you going to play in this converted warehouse shell? And I remember he got a little, he's like, it is not a warehouse shell. It's going to be an NBA arena. But the first time I saw it, Jerry, I couldn't believe it.
It was a warehouse shell. That's exactly what it was.
Been antagonizing people for 40 years over here.
Well, see, the thing I always remember, too, when I first came, was myself and Frank Hamlin and Phil Johnston. We were the three coaches. I was the second assistant to Frank. And we were all in the same office in a little cookie cutter building across the street because it wasn't ready.
Yeah.
It wasn't even ready yet. So we was in there and all the top executives, everybody, you felt like you're in a boiler.
Yeah.
Room,
yeah.
Right. One of those
There's nothing there. There's nothing in the whole area. Right.
Yeah. But I mean, in the office space, there's 50 people and you could hear them all. You didn't have an individual office. It just, we had a space. So anyway,
what kind of impression did all this make on the players? I mean, obviously it all worked out, but I have to imagine for some of the players, it was like, what in the world are we getting ourselves into?
Well, I think there were some questions, about it. I mean, I think especially with some of the veteran players. I always remember the first camp was at Yuba College, and Junior Bridgman had been part of a trade. And I'm not sure all the particulars, but Junior obviously
he's a ball player,
many-time all-star, very bright guy, obviously multi-millionaire due to his business stuff. But anyway, players are supposed to stay 2 to a room. And of course he said, well, you have to pay equity. So he'd do that. But pretty soon, I think he just went ahead and retired, as I recall.
Wait a minute. Rather than share a room?
I mean, I think it's one of those things that's kind of the last roundup. And I really think before the season started, he just went ahead and retired. But which was probably
that's a great start.
Yeah, and I mean, he was pretty washed. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
he was a kind of a throw-in on a deal somewhere.
So just not worth it for him. Huh? Like
no
last gasp.
I'm out.
Yeah. And as it turned out, that's a smart thing to do because he bought a whole bunch of, I can't remember if it was Wendy's or McDonald's, but he's he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars now.
Wow, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. More on 40 years of the Kings with Jerry Reynolds and the Phantom. Also, the commissioner now is listening to critics on the rise of the three in the NBA. Should he be listening? What should the NBA should do about that? We have two of the premier minds in basketball with us today. Where does this all go with the NBA and the three-point shot? We'll find out next. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Breezy on the west side of the valley throughout the day Saturday. Highs will be in the mid-50s. We'll watch for some scattered showers in the afternoon and evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Happy New Year! Coach Christie here letting you know it's never been easier to drive into the new year in a new Kia. Take advantage of special low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit right now at Folsom Lake Kia.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
With the cooler seasons upon us, Advanced Infusion Center remains focused on your health and comfort. Whether you're dealing with a chronic illness or in need of IV therapy, we provide tailored treatments to meet your unique needs. Our caring team is here to make sure your experience is safe, comfortable, and stress-free. With convenient locations in Sacramento and Yuba and flexible scheduling, you can easily access the care you deserve. Explore Advanced Infusion Therapy today. Visit advancedinfusion.com for compassionate care right where you need it.
Winter can be tough on your garage doors. So are you sure yours is ready to handle the cold? Well, don't wait for your garage door to break down on a chilly morning. This February, Overhead Door Company of Sacramento is offering their Sweetheart Special, $150 off a garage door with the purchase of a new garage door opener. So don't let winter slow you down. Visit overheaddoorofsacramento.com for your free estimate. And another reason to love the great folks at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento is how consistent they've been with giving back to the community. They have served our region for 70 plus years as a family owned and operated company, and they give back as you can join them this Saturday in Elk Grove for Project Ride's 25th annual crab feed, blessing the lives of those with special needs and disabilities. You can reach them at 916-421-3747, 916-421-3747. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original Overhead Door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
This year, resolve to save on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy with $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on over 30 new half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. Must own 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
highlight.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Friday. We have Mr. Basketball, the Phantom here.
Hello.
Who else but Mr. Basketball would wear an Anaheim Amigos t-shirt? That's a really nice one. I know we keep mentioning
and
that.
I'm spurring merchandise sales all over the world.
Yes, absolutely. And, of course, the great Jerry Reynolds joining us in studio, which we appreciate very much, Jerry.
Well, I mean, just to get a chance to be with Mr. Basketball again.
I hadn't seen Jerry in a while.
As I'm aging, I'm losing, losing a step here or there, and I know I can pick up a few pointers.
You can pick up that step back with
one of the outstanding basketball minds in the area.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, one of the top 4 basketball minds in this area right now.
Exactly.
Right there, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Top 4. Yeah. Top 4 indeed.
We haven't asked you, Jerry, and we'll get back to other things we're going to talk about here, the 3-ball and the commissioner. But what, if anything, did you make of last night? Obviously, back-to-back at altitude, a tall task for the Kings.
Oh, you're really almost an impossible task, I thought. And, it certainly looked that way for most of the game. I mean, Doug McDermott kind of turned things around. But, that's one thing about, this team. And I think Coach Christie, I mean, they're going to play until the final whistle. And I mean, and to Coach's credit, I thought going with McDermott, it was kind of a last gasp. But that's what Doug can do. He can make shots. I mean, he's not going to make them every day, but he's making all of them. And that they had legitimate chance, which, you start to, and of course, the NBA now, I mean, it's 14, 15 points means nothing.
That's what he was saying earlier.
It means nothing. It's a 2-minute, 3-minute max deal.
It's got to be more to that too than we were talking about before. 3-pointers, obviously, that makes it easier. But there's got to be more to that. Maybe mindset or something. Maybe more bad shots are taken, more turn. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be more to it than just that.
Well, I do think with the 3-pointer, obviously it speeds it up. But when you're making them, the other team's taking the ball out of the basket, so you get to set your defense, and then it's harder for them to score. So now all of a sudden you're in the open court again. Easy open shots, 3-pointers. It just speeds up the comebacks.
It certainly does.
And then, as we I think know too, the team is coming back. Officials sometimes put on cheerleader uniforms and join in the fray.
Right.
Even things up
because it's good for business.
Yeah.
The comebacks are good.
Make it fair.
I think it's just human nature. The excitement. The team that's fighting back and scrappier probably gets. Maybe get an extra call.
Yeah, get a charge call down on defense.
I don't have any problem with it. It's the same for everybody.
It's funny you say that, Jerry. I thought about that when the Kings are playing the Warriors. And remember, in the first quarter, the Warriors were definitely the aggressors, definitely took the fight to the Kings. And there was a play, DeRozan on the baseline, and he kind of stumbled and got knocked down, and he fell down. I kind of looked at the official, and the official waited till his foot went out of bounds and said, all right, Warrior ball. And to me, that was one of those plays where there might have been a foul there, but because the Warriors were the aggressive team, the officials kind of like, I ain't going to give you that, right? Because you guys haven't earned that call right now.
And you watched DeRozan kind of like slowly go down to the floor because no part of his body was out of bounds yet. And it finally got, I think his haunches, I think, were out of bounds. And so that was really, really a funny one to do. But I mean, the Warriors, like you say, they were the aggressor. Everything was going well for them. Obviously, they're hitting their shots. And that got that, which was why I kind of thought maybe that would turn around in the second half. Yeah. Which is why I thought that lead wasn't that safe. But still, like 17, 18-point leads.
Yeah, and the Warriors, they'll just turn it over. I mean,
just for the heck of it.
They've always done that, even when they were really good.
Yeah, I mean, they could make up for it then, and now they can't.
Yeah, and I know Steve Kerr said that was the key to the game. They turned us over, and he said he said most of the turnovers were unforced in the second half. He said they sped us up, but that's part of it, right? I mean, when you speed a team up and you start trapping and surprising them with blitzes, you speed them up and you force them to make those mistakes.
Yeah, and I think another thing I think Coach Christie's done a great job is, kind of picking his spots to really, with the doubles and the traps and playing a little more zone and then trapping out of a zone. So it's giving these teams different looks, rather than just the same old, and hope they miss.
Yeah, we know that Mike Brown's a really good defensive coach, and it's interesting to me that he did a good job with the Kings defensively, but they've been better defensively since Doug's taken over. That's kind of like, wow, because he's a good defensive coach. But to the point you just made, Jerry, in my mind, and we know Mike Brown's an excellent coach, but to me, he was more worried about protecting the soft spots of the defense, and so they're like pack line, protect the paint. And Doug is more trying to take advantage of the strengths of the defense, getting out and being a little more aggressive on the perimeter.
Oh, I agree. And I mean, say forcing a few turnovers. In other words, really where the Kings aren't good and still aren't is really protecting the basket.
Yeah.
And stopping some straight line drives. Well, okay, get out, get the ball.
Right.
Trapped, put some pressure on it so you don't get to those spots as often.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go, Mr. Basketball.
Yeah, it does seem like probably a generalization, but I mean, obviously we talk about all the time, players are better than they ever were. They're more skilled, but I also think that not a lot of them are great ball handlers. It seems like the more pressure you put on people, and I know what the canon is, you don't do that at this level because everybody's too good. I see a lot of pressure result in a lot of turnovers on the pro level.
Well, I do think part of it is that at the pro level, you go out there and play 82 games and okay, we're going to play this style. They're playing that style. You don't change it much. So you're in your routine. I can go down, dribble down, look around. Okay, head over here. And all of a sudden you can't do that.
Like, hey,
wait a minute. You're not supposed to do that. You play that style.
Now, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I don't like pressure.
Your defense is inconveniencing me.
Yes.
The other thing I think that, with Coach Brown's first year, I thought they did the most amazing thing I'd ever seen is after a basket, they would push it up and really could score within about 4 seconds and get a good shot.
I remember you saying you had never seen that before.
I'd never seen that because I always say, if they're taking the ball out of, if you score, they should not be able to beat you back in transition. Well, that was happening. And so he did a marvelous job with that. I thought last year they didn't do it as well. And this year they didn't do it at all. And Coach Christie, now we're seeing that again. The ball's being not always dribbled ahead, but thrown ahead occasionally, which, as Mr. Basketball knows, you can throw a ball faster than you can run.
Is that confirmed, Mr. Basketball?
That's confirmed, but it's really hard to explain that to people, especially young people.
Yes.
Really difficult for them to get that concept.
Yeah. I used to do drills when I coached girls, like this line, you're going to dribble. This line, you're going to pass it. Let's see who wins. Yeah. Guess who always won?
Well, it's like my old JUCO coach when I was playing, he would get on me, he said, well, throw the ball ahead, it's faster. And I said, well, I know that.
But I can't shoot it if I throw it ahead.
No, what he didn't know, I didn't want to throw it ahead.
You were choosing not to throw it ahead.
I was very selective in my throwing it ahead skill.
Yeah, more on the future of the three-point shot in the NBA. We'll find out here from Jerry Reynolds and the Phantom. What do we know? What do we still need to find out about the Doug Christie Kings? It's coming up here. So we head into our final hour already on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Paramount Plus is your streaming home for the NFL playoffs on CBS. It all comes down to this. As the Chiefs host the Bills in the AFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax. A trip to New Orleans is on the line. Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paramount Plus is your streaming home for the NFL playoffs on CBS. It all comes down to this, as the Chiefs host the Bills in the AFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax. A trip to New Orleans is on the line, Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CRV, HRV, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Cruise into 2025 in a brand new Corvette. Play your favorite slots and table games daily to earn entries. Plus, get one free daily entry and score 100 bonus entries every Monday and Tuesday. Then, join us every Saturday in January for a chance to win prizes up to $25,000 cash or a shiny new Corvette. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
How about you try something new this year? A resolution to enjoy what you drive. And the only way to guarantee that is at Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And it's not just because they're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course or their huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. It's because their general manager, Chuck Dean, and this team, they really take the time to get to know you and your goals. To them, it's not just about a car sale. It's about building generational relationships with someone you can trust. That's why people come from all over, Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because Sacramento Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, it's where a handshake still means something.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. Every day, ZipRecruiter helps people who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Here's a resolution that's easy to keep. Grab the keys to a new Toyota truck and make every day an adventure. Get a low-cost lease on the iconic Tacoma, or get 1.99% APR or $2,000 cash back on the powerful Tundra. Every new Toyota includes Toyota Care, 2 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. Resolve to live it up this year in a new Toyota truck. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit at 2 through 25.
It's time to turn up the volume on live entertainment. Check out the Sacktown Sports live events calendar for the hottest events and shows coming your way. On February 18th, catch the incredible Miles Kennedy at Ace of Spades. His powerful vocals and raw talent will leave you speechless. Then gear up for an adrenaline-packed night with the Thunder Showdown boxing event at Thunder Valley on March 8th. Who will come out on top in the ring? Be there to find out. On March 9th, don't miss the legendary John Oates live at the Crest Theater, bringing you iconic hits and timeless melodies. If you're a country fan, mark your calendar for March 16th, when Alexandra Kay brings her heartfelt songs to Ace of Spades for an unforgettable evening. And on March 29th, get ready to rock the night away as Papa Roach and Rise Against take over the Golden One Center with an electrifying performance. Don't miss these amazing events. For more information and your chance to win tickets, head to SacktownSports.com. Sacktown Sports, your front row seat to the Sacramento area's best live entertainment.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
A two-step, a two-step. Now go into
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
So glad to have you with us on a Friday, crazy Friday with the one and only Jerry Reynolds,
Yay.
Mr. Basketball, the Phantom. Thank you, Ramsey, for holding it together. Ramsey has your back. I don't know why, the way you treat him.
Top notch.
Yes, but Ramsey just came scrambling in here. Where's the TV remote? Because he knew the team we were talking about in the Unrivaled, the Phantom team, Phantom BC. They're playing right now, and he wanted to turn it on for him. Brittany Griner's on Phantom BC.
Yeah, and they're losing because they're losing the turnover battle, Jerry. 7 turnovers to 1 in the first half.
Yeah,
but on the other hand,
7 assists and 7 turnovers. That's not a good ratio.
Not a good ratio. On the other hand, the logo and insignia are fire. I mean, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Got to get some of that stuff.
Missed over Phantom, 41-38.
And isn't that always the way?
So, yeah, you got to get a T-shirt or something. Or
was that bring on Stewart, I think? I don't know. We should have got her on our team. Yeah, we got Brittany Griner and Ionescu, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
But we got to take care of the ball.
I like the size court.
Yeah, protect the pumpkin here, huh? Come on.
Actually, though, there's no court small enough for me now, but but that'd be great for the 40 somethings,
Yes, for the
50 somethings.
The 3, what is it? The big 3?
Big 3.
Yeah. Jerry, we have some interesting comments here in the chat. Campy says the trapping is the biggest difference I've noticed with Christie. Team is reminding me of the 2001-2002 Kings in that style of play. I don't know about that, but
did some, but Coach Christie's doing a lot more of it, and honestly, probably needs to do more of it. Coach Adelman really, that team was big and strong enough where they could play you straight up and win more.
Yeah. Great Elston Turner was kind of their defensive coach, right?
Terrific coach. Why he hasn't even been considered for head jobs is the most ridiculous thing. That's almost as ridiculous as not having Rick Adelman's jersey retired, but that's
That's 2 good ones right there. Yeah, 2 good ones.
I've been on this campaign, and I thought I got close. I've been trying to get speaking of Jerry Lucas's number retired.
Yes, I remember this quest.
And I got very close. I got in touch with Jerry Lucas indirectly. I got in touch with someone with the Kings who could make it happen, and it didn't quite happen. So I guess it's not to be.
Yeah, it's not to
so
be.
That's the next campaign. Rick Adelman. That's got to happen.
Yeah, it does. I mean, to me, he's had more to do with the success during those years than any player, because none of them were there the entire 8-year run except him. And I mean, so 8 straight years of playoffs. Anyway, he's in the Hall of Fame, so it hadn't hurt him any.
Right.
And same way with Jerry Lucas.
Yes.
For that matter.
Yes. All right. So tomorrow night, we know that the Kings are visiting the Knicks, and then Monday they're visiting Brooklyn, and Wednesday they're visiting the Sixers. Then they've got OKC, they've got Minnesota. So it's you got a 6-gamer here, and then they're home versus Orlando again on February 5th. What do we know about Doug Christie's Kings, and what do we still need to find out? I think we need to find out how they're going to handle some adversity, right?
That's
they
what I was going to
say.
say.
Haven't had to do that yet.
They haven't had to, and credit to them for not having to.
Right.
So what we found out is what we've talked about before is defensively the pressure and everything, and the buy-in and everything. But we have to see what happens when they don't. They're 2 losses. Well, the first game, but the 2 since then have been at Milwaukee and at Denver against the best players in the league. So no shame there. And they put up a good fight in both of those. So when things go a little bit sour, when everybody's not playing their best, let's see how they rebound then.
No, that'll be the challenge. And certainly this road trip probably will present. We'll have a pretty good idea. Not that we don't already, but I'll be surprised if they don't come through it okay. I was telling Scott Marsh as I was walking in here, and I said, in my years in the league, there's 3 people that I said that really sit down and talk to, had conversations about, you need to coach. And that was Doug Christie, Jimmy Les, and Kara Lawson.
Really?
And I was 3 for 3.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But I mean, not that I didn't think other people would, but these were people that were thinking of other things. And I always remember both with Doug and Kara in particular, their broadcasting careers were heading on. I just said, look, that's not what you want to do. You can always come back and do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you want to coach. And then of course, like with Jim Les, I mean, he could coach in the NBA. I have no doubt about it. I mean, he'd need to be an assistant for a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was just the day after Mike Brown was let go. You came on with Emron and I asked you about the buy-in, the whole thing about the buy-in. I think the way I phrased it was, to what extent does Doug Christie's level of success depend on the buy-in from the players? And you said, like 99.9%. Isn't it remarkable that he's gotten such a buy-in so quickly from virtually the entire team?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I think being an assistant with those guys and I think they got firsthand his developmental coaching skills and his work ethic. And, that's the thing with Doug, and I got to know him, quite well, both as a player, but more importantly, when he's broadcasting, we'd talk basketball for hours in trips and different things. But, the guy really is focused. I mean, he is basketball. I mean, and that's what you can't know till you're around somebody. I mean, he's Mr. Basketball multiplied.
No.
Yes.
Wow. That's an honor, really, to be honest with you.
But, I think his, sometimes teams will take on a coach's personality, probably more so at the lower levels, but his focus and commitment, that's why he played. I mean, that's one thing about Doug when he played. I mean, he came to play. He was prepared to play. He was focused to play. Might not always have a good game, but it wasn't because of lack of focus or being prepared.
How rare is that?
Very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, very rare. I mean, certainly with Sabonis, I mean, obviously he's, you see it, but you don't see it as much. And that's where coaching comes in.
Yeah.
In my mind, you're seeing it more now than you did before.
You always tell us how moving over from the assistant to the head coach is more than just moving over to one seat, right? It's a big move, even though it's just one seat. So what, besides what you've already said, what has made Doug's move it's seemingly an easy one so far?
Yeah, I'm that's one thing with Doug. Generally speaking, guys may be an assistant, but they've had a lot of head coaching experience, so it makes it easier. But the fact he hadn't, I thought would be a tougher adjustment for him than it was. I do think, though, he worked for several head coaches, Luke Walton and Mike Brown, Alvin Gentry. So, I mean, not to put anything on anybody, but he saw up close and personal 3 different coaches, 3 different styles, 3 different ways of doing things, and things that he liked and things that he didn't like. And then he could add it to, in other words, I think that's exactly what's happened, So, because he's a student of the game. And so, he's just not sitting there waiting to go out and toss balls at halftime or something.
We got some questions here on the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. From Scott. Thank you, Scott. He says, to Whitey and Phantom, what needs to be done to get Jerry into the Hall of Fame? Jerry's already in
Jerry's
4?
in so many halls of fame, it's almost boring.
4 halls of fame?
Well, let's see. 2, I think 5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Darn it. Sorry.
Yeah, I put my jersey up in the arena for the Monarchs. So that's nice. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean,
but there is one I know that means more to you than the rest of them.
There is.
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
Springs Valley High School. There's only 2 jerseys retired. And I can't remember the other guy.
It wasn't Jim Bob Bowley?
No. Jim Bob wouldn't even come close to getting there.
What was your mascot? What's the Spring Valley mascot?
Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks.
Oh.
So you're in the Blackhawk Hall of Fame?
Blackhawk Hall of Fame.
Actually, I didn't know about I may have known about that, but I thought it would have been the Indiana basketball.
Well, that would be my second.
Yeah.
In truth, yeah. I mean, I know it sounds a little convoluted.
No, not at all.
But I think, for a lot of people, I just think, where you went to high school, especially if there's not like 100 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just 2.
So just 2. And the other guy really did have a good career,
Is your baseball jersey retired there? Because you hit 447 or something?
No, but it probably should be.
Yeah, that's
probably should be.
That's tremendous. What a 2-sport athlete.
Well, I was more than that. I still got, as far as I know, now the athletic director that worked there goes back probably 10 years, that I still had the record for the most varsity letters, 12.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Somebody else here wants us to ask you for any good Larry Bird stories. So we'll give it a quick second to see if you come up with anything. And the conversation on the Kings and the 3-point shooting in the NBA will continue when we come back with Jerry Reynolds and the Phantom. And Ramsey, it's the Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
Intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Don't miss the excitement of 49ers game day. Secure your spot at Levi's Stadium for the 2025 season.
20, one block and he's in.
Season tickets are available now. Inventory is limited, so to speak with a representative, call 415-GO-49ers.
Touchdown!
That's 415-GO-49ers.
San Francisco!
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Those of you with us on YouTube can see Phantom looking a little more positive here, a little more chipper with the Phantom leading the Mist 56-51 and unrivaled.
Griner leading a comeback for the Phantom, and I look for a W here. Also, Ramsey, just the soundtrack to our lives today is just tremendous.
Yes.
Fantastic job.
Yes, thank you for
He's
that.
a triple
Ramsey.
threat, isn't he?
He really is.
Yeah. He's in for Jay, and Jay's back on Monday, and Kyle Draper on the road with the Kings, and Jerry says they're going to do okay on that road trip, and we'll get back to that. But how about it, Jerry? Somebody here from the 209. Can you ask Jerry for any good Larry Bird stories? You think he knows any good Larry Bird
We
stories?
can ask him, but I don't think we will. I don't think he could come up with one like that. No way.
Yeah, sadly, I know too many. But
Some of my favorites. Yeah.
Well, I've told so many of them. But I was just thinking of one because it kind of relates to Sabonis a little bit. I always remember Larry and I was visiting about something else back in the late 80s. Anyway, he was averaging about 29 a game and 11 rebounds and 6 assists, whatever, but as a small forward, he was second or third, fourth, top of rebounders in the league. And I said, Larry, man, if you got a chance to be the leading rebounder as a small forward, that'd be awesome. He said, well, yeah, but I'm not really that good a rebounder. I said, what do you mean? He said, oh, McHale's a lot better rebounder than me. I said, wait a minute. He's a power forward, and he gets 8 rebounds a game, and you're a small forward, and you get 11. He said, yeah, but I try to get 100. He only tries to get about 10. And I was going to say, that's kind of like with Sabonis, that's one of the reasons he gets it. I mean, he tries to get them all.
Yeah. It reminds me, I remember one time talking with Harold Presley about rebounding, and he said, any team, you just got to have one guy's like, that's what he does. He's got to have that mindset. I'm getting the ball. Now, with Domas, he does other things too, but he has that mentality.
Yeah, I mean, that is a real, obviously, amazing skill, but a lot of it is just the intensity to go after the ball. And that's why, you see a lot of
assume a miss, Jerry. You got to assume a miss, right?
Dennis Rodman led the league, not very particularly big. He was long, but I mean, for Domas, obviously, he's not that long. Here he is leading the league, and he's led it 2 or 3 times in his career.
Yes.
It's pretty remarkable. But like I say, it just goes back to just that point, really. I mean, trying to get every ball. You're not going to, if you get 14 out of 100, well, that percentage-wise, that's not as good as 10 out of 12.
No, but numbers-wise, it works. Yeah.
So you're feeling pretty optimistic about this road trip, huh?
I am. I mean, there's winnable games. Obviously, the Knicks are beatable. They're good, very good, in fact, and well coached. But say Brooklyn beat the Kings earlier in the year, so you got a little payback. Jordi Fernandez. So that's a game. The Bulls certainly beatable. They'll help you beat them if you give them a chance. They'll help you. They'll chip in. And now with Oklahoma City, that's a little tougher go,
right?
And Minnesota, Minnesota would know, they're beatable too. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, everybody is. We saw Dallas beat Oklahoma City last night, so the NBA. So yeah, if they could get 3 on this trip, and I think they can.
The West is, as we know, it's so densely packed, and every game is so important. I know I've already been looking at the standings, and the Kings were 7th, and now they're 9th. Is it too early to be looking at that? Or in the West, is it like, no, you got to – each game is so vitally important that you got to watch it all.
Well, it probably is, but I look at it every night. I mean, it is that close, and every game it really is important. You are in a playoff drive, and, a team that's 11th now or 10th might, we saw it last year. Dallas, makes the trade. They were going nowhere. They'd have been in the playoffs, probably 8th or 9th.
Yeah.
Or 8th. And then you get Gafford and PJ Washington, and they go to the NBA Finals. So
that's what the Kings have to do this year, right?
We got to do.
I'm in favor of it. Yeah.
Okay. We're all signing off on that.
Yeah. I was listening to driving in. I think somebody mentioned, you guys might have been talking about, you might disrupt the team and all, and that's true. But if you're really just sure this is going to get you where you want to go, then you don't do anything. But if you really think you got needs, and I mean, and to Dallas's credit, they felt they had needs and clearly took care of it and worked fine. And so, like I say, I mean, if you're bringing in a guy that's a major star, which they're not, that can create issues in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
But good role players.
Right. That's the beauty of Cam, right? And it doesn't look like they're going to get him, but he just, especially if he's willing to come off the bench, 6-man, slide right in.
Yeah. Oh, no, he'd be, he'd really give you firepower and probably allow Keegan to play more of a normal position too. I mean, so anyway.
Yeah. If you're adding somebody, you don't want to add somebody who's needy.
Right.
They need shots, or they need time, or they need this. It's somebody that can meld into it. And it sounds like that's exactly the Mavericks give them credit for targeting the right people and then going out and getting them.
Yeah, because like Gafford, I mean, obviously been a starter with Washington, and really they drafted a guy who then half as good as a guy that probably never will be. But but he came.
Jerry's
in
not a big star guy.
I get that. Yeah.
Actually,
the
guy that Miami got later, Khalil Ware, is way better.
Really?
Oh, he's good.
Yeah. Kings worked him out, I think.
Yeah, he's 6'11", can shoot and lively. They're starting to play him now finally. But I think he'll be probably very likely could be the guy in the draft. People say, "Oops, we should have went higher."
Yeah. Speaking of needy people and making trades for them, Phantom and Jerry, what about this Jimmy Butler? If he ends up going to the Suns, can he really help them that much? Is he worth the trouble at this point, Jimmy Butler?
I don't think he is, and I think they're a disaster. So that's basically what I think.
Who's a disaster? They made the disaster.
No, the Suns. They made the wrong moves a little while ago, and they've been trying to scramble out from underneath that ever since. And I don't think there's a way out.
Well, as we were doing our world famous old fashioned podcast, we talked
those
about
were the days.
The Bradley Beal thing was a terrible trade the day it happened. I mean, he was a player on the downslide a little bit and with a huge contract.
And a no trade clause.
And that's still in effect.
Yeah.
And now they moved him to the bench, which is a good move, and it might actually help them. They picked up a decent 7-footer, which will help them. But to your point about Butler, I think he'd help them for the rest of the year. Is it worth what's going to follow? I'd say no. You're going to have a half a year of a guy's going to come in and try to really ball out, because he can really play. Yeah. But I mean, his history is, he had, he talked his way out of Chicago, Minnesota, Philly, Miami.
Yeah.
So now, why would Phoenix think they're going to be different?
Yeah. So I remember asking that very question a couple of years ago about Kyrie. And I remember asking you guys, why would Dallas hitch their wagon to Kyrie? And I remember you saying, Phantom, you said, because he's really good. And but I don't know that Jimmy's that
He's
anymore.
35 and you got to pay him. And does he make you? Does you get past the first round with him?
Well, he's better than this is what we were talking to Anthony Slater this week. He says, he's better than Beal, so he makes him better.
Right.
You have to do all the financial.
How do they get him?
Gymnastics.
They can't get him for Beal, can they?
No,
they can't
Miami
get him for
doesn't want
Beal.
So it has to be somebody else that would take
like a
Beal.
5. There's been talk of it's not always right.
And he'd
like
have
a 5-team trade to make it.
Yeah, so I don't see anything happening. I mean, Pat Riley does. They're not going to take on Beal. They've got an off guard Tyler Hero that's better. So why?
Yeah.
But to the thing with Jimmy, I'm pretty sure that the way it'll play out, if he would get there some way, he'd make him better. But the reason he's unhappy in Miami is because they don't want to give him a new deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's got one more year at $50 million.
Yes.
And they have no desire to give him an extension. Well, he still wants an extension. And so once Phoenix says, no thanks.
They're not going to give him an extension
Why
either.
would you be surprised that the same problems don't arise?
I don't know the owner there, Matt Ishbia, but it just from afar to me, it looks like he's just so stubborn. Like, we are going to win this way.
Right.
We're going to overpay all these great players. People say it can't work, but we're just going to keep doing it until either we win something or it all blows up. And to me, it looks like it's very close to just falling apart.
Yeah, and you're talking about great players. Bradley Beal's not a great player.
Right.
So, I mean, you're getting something you think you're getting, but you're not getting a great player. Obviously, you're getting a player that doesn't show up a lot. And that's
don't teams make that mistake all the time? They look at any given situation. This guy's the best player available, so he's great.
Yeah.
He's like, no, he's just the best player available right now. That doesn't make him that good.
He has to be great for us.
Or guys that used to be, and you think, they're going to, I always remember Seattle getting Patrick Ewing. Like, oh boy, they'll be good now. I said, no, they didn't get Patrick Ewing. They got the person, the player that used to be.
They got Pat Ewing.
Right.
Yeah.
They got a shell of Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Not the same thing. I mean, it's, so that's what happens, and you got to be kind of careful there. And like with Bradley Beal, if they'd have got Bradley Beal 5 years ago, they got a heck of a player.
Mm-hmm.
But that trade, we talked about it so much. It's like, well, first of all, you got a great off guard named Booker.
I know.
I mean, it's like, well, right away, you've just created a problem you didn't need.
They keep doing that. It's like, you have Devin Booker. Why do you want to keep adding these guys?
Well, we'll make Booker a point guard. Yeah. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, and he can do it, but that's not
where you want him to maximize him.
Let's make Michael Jordan a point guard. Yeah, he could do it, but that'd be pretty silly.
Well, we have Clyde Drexler. We don't need Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
trace it all the way back to that.
Yeah. Well, all that said, the Suns right now 22-21, and they're just a half game behind your Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, and if they did go out and get Butler, he would be a guy like we talk about that. There's going to be some disruption in the force, and you're going to have to. It's going to take you 10, 15 games to figure out what your mechanics is with him on the lineup in the lineup.
See what worries me about him, and I think they're going to end up being pretty good and not doing. They got the center they needed.
Mm-hmm.
Lively, big guy.
Yeah.
Protect the rim for him and score a little bit.
Didn't give up much for him either.
And not much for him. And then Beal, all the drama of going to the bench has already been done. So that they finally played that card, which should have been played sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he can be an off the bench guy and be valuable. Now, and Booker and Durant can be Booker and Durant, which is about as tough a twosome as there is in the league. And if I'm the Kings, I worry a lot about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the Clippers, right? The Clippers are surprising.
They are so surprising, aren't they? Well, how much you guys think about this? But I was talking to, I think it was my son the other day, or maybe it's a King's Herald podcast I do. We were talking about, I said, Paul George is without a doubt the most valuable game changer, team changer in the league. He made Indiana better by leaving. He made Oklahoma City better by leaving. And he made the Clippers better, believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So you get him and dish him, and then your team's going to improve.
Might be the key. Make a trade or free agent signing, get Paul George, and then move him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When we come back, we'll look at this report that says the Kings were in on Brandon Ingram last summer. What next? Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Breezy on the west side of the valley throughout the day Saturday. Highs will be in the mid-50s. We'll watch for some scattered showers in the afternoon and evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The new year is here. Time for a new car. Coach Christie here urging you to upgrade to a new Kia right now. You might even end up with a lower payment. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Flex Premium Athleisure is softness that plays hard. From the couch to the gym to the office and beyond, Flex gives you premium comfort and style that keeps up with anything without costing everything. Whether you're chasing the ball or chasing the kids, life's a workout. Flex with it. Exclusively at Kohl's. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This year, resolve to save on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on over 30 new half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leases, and some other offers. Based on 2011 or newer Chevrolet.
Hey, it's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and the regular season is over, but the high hand bonuses, those are not. $500 per primetime football game, whether it's weekend, Monday night, whatever it may be. And those bonuses available until the season ends, including the big game on February 9th. Capital Casino, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com. Please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With over 500 new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Jerry Reynolds in today. Phantom, how's the Phantom doing here in the Unrivaled League?
I think they're playing the Elam ending, which is at 73. We've been on 70 for like 20 minutes here. So come on, get the ball inside. We just missed a bunny inside. There's a nice spin move. The roll away,
That's not a guy,
there
by
you
the
go.
way. Yeah.
So what? They can still be criticized for missing bunnies.
You said there's a guy. Didn't you say there's a
Well,
guy?
There's a guy. There's a
It's
player.
not-
It's okay. It's okay. It's sports, man.
Yeah.
Universal
I know.
language.
Yeah. So Phantom's new favorite team is Phantom BC, which he didn't know existed until he came in
Thanks
today.
to Ramsey.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Ramsey.
Actually, I think I was the one that told you about him, but Ramsey did find all the information.
I appreciate the love. That's all I can ask.
I like to think it was Ramsey. Thank you.
Jerry Reynolds, we're just talking here about that incredible night that Jokic had last night. Did you say, Ramsey, Jokic's numbers, the 35, 22, and 17, it's only Wilt is the only one who's done that?
To the best of my knowledge and what I saw last night on Inside the NBA, they said Wilt was the only other person in NBA history to have a night of that nature so far.
Yeah. And Jerry, isn't it amazing that it was a few years ago. It's been a while, but Denver had to decide, Jokic or Nurkic, which one do we keep?
Yeah, that was amazing. I remember what happened, and there was a lot of discussion. I mean,
yeah.
And Nurkic, when he went to Portland, was a very good player.
The Bosnian Bear.
A very good player for a while, for a number of years. But that was a real. I mean, to Denver's credit, they may have already known, know more than we do, certainly. But there's a lot of discussion around the league. Well, I don't know. Nurkic is tougher. This guy, will he ever get in shape and all that sort of thing?
They're still asking the same thing.
Yeah.
Is Jokic ever going to get in shape?
Yeah, I thought Ramsey made a brilliant point there when we were in break. And I agree with you, Ramsey. Ramsey said, you really, unless you see Jokic in person, you don't really get a true sense of how good he is. And I guess that's probably true of a lot of greats, right?
Oh, I think all the greats, if you really get down to it. I mean, when you see Jabbar up close and personal, or Michael Jordan, I always say that was the one because his quickness was just demoralizing. I mean, you just thought, oh, yeah, he's quick. But no, he's really quick.
And when he was Air Jordan, he'd block shots. He'd go up and block shots.
Oh, he's a great defender. His instincts, he could just cover the whole floor almost. And then, of course, when you had Pippen and Ron Harper and those guys, I mean, defensively, they were probably better than they were offensively, and they were great. But anyway, Jordan, those great ones, you just see them differently. Elijah one. You watch him on TV, but then all of a sudden you see him in person. It's like, how can anybody guard him?
Phantom was like that.
We had that quick.
I saw him in person. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
had the Phantom shake. Did he?
Yeah,
did he have the Phantom shake?
Yeah, he actually got it from me.
Yeah,
it was more like a tremor.
Here's the thing on Jokic and Sabonis. You look at the 3-point shooting in the NBA right now. Jokic is at 47.9%, tied with Luke Kennard. Then you got Domas at 47.5. Those are the top three marks in the NBA. And the incredible thing here, I know we talked earlier about the commissioner, and he says, well, we're looking at what we have to do about the 3-point shooting. The thing that I think gets overlooked in this discussion is just how great players are right now at shooting the three ball. Cam Johnson, who we talk about a lot, Cam Johnson's shooting 41.9% on threes. That's 21st in the NBA. 21st.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
It is.
Yeah, I mean, of course, young kids they grow up shooting the three now. It's a different preparation and everything.
Yeah.
So that I love the three too. I just think there's too many, and Mike stance for years has been get rid of the corner three. It's
there you go, Commissioner Silver.
I think that's what's going to finally happen.
Yeah, I mean,
it just seems like there's a lot of talk about we have to do something. We have to do something, and that seems like
it's not a. I mean, it's a significant change, but it's not like you're not really. It's not a radical change.
No, you're basically making a fair change because the corner three is a 3 foot closer shot.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like you don't give some free throws 12 feet.
Right.
So they're all 15 feet. So all 3 pointers should be basically the same.
Yeah,
and
interesting.
And so you eliminate quite a few 3-point shots. Certainly the 3-point shots that are taken would have more value and skill attached. And then more importantly, you'd get more post play, more fast breaks to the basket, not guys running to the corner.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it was when he first told us about it like 5 years ago or whatever. It stays the same. There's just too many threes being shot. Like I say, you talk about the guy's 21st in the league, he's shooting 42%. Well, there's a lot of guys below 21st who shouldn't be shooting the ball as many times as they do. And I think that's, Jerry, you talk about it starts at the young levels, and it does, but the shot selection is just not there at those levels. I watch a lot of those games, and it's just like people are just like, yeah, we got to shoot threes. That's what people do now, but there's a time and a place.
Yeah, your guy, Harrison Barnes, 41.3% from three, 26th in the NBA.
Okay.
26 in the
There's
NBA.
450 players.
Yeah, that's
so-
one about Harrison. I mean, he's always been up there because he doesn't take any bad threes. I mean,
There you go.
I mean, and I've always said it really comes down to production. People say, "Oh, you got to shoot." No, if you're shooting 70% of your twos, that's better than 40% of your threes. I mean, in other words, find a way. The rule's the same. If you're scoring at about a 1.2.5 points per shot, you'll win.
It's Jerry Lydics.
It's
Jerry Lydics, baby.
Yeah.
And
I've lived by that
come
for a
think
long
of it.
time.
And so, and you look at the Kings roster. Well, you've got 4 or 5 guys that are productive at a winning level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need more than that.
Mm-hmm. Here's the worst idea I've heard in a long time on what to do about the threes, and this comes from a guy who's a really good writer, excellent writer. I won't say his name because I have no quibble with him, but I thought this was a terrible idea. I don't even know if it was his idea, but he wrote about it. He said, well, to kind of tip things back towards the defense a little bit, even if a 3-point shooter is fouled, he should only get 2 free throws. And I thought, that is a terrible idea. You're going to have guys getting tackled when they're shooting threes.
Destroy
right?
people.
Yes, yes.
Hey, what can I lose? Hey. If they let him shoot it and I foul him, if he gets a shot up, it's bad. So I got to stop him from shooting.
Right. I don't think that would work, Jared.
I don't believe it would either. I mean, if it's a 3-point shot, 3 shots. If it's a 2-point shot, 2 shots. Yeah.
That seems too normal.
Yeah.
Too regular
Yeah,
for
I
me,
don't
Jerry.
think
Yeah,
that's the way to. I wouldn't really mess with that much. I think they protect the 3-point shooters maybe too much.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that, it's.
I had to text Jerry a couple games ago because, when you play high school basketball way back when, it's like what they would teach is never foul a jump shooter. Never foul a jump shooter. And now that happens a lot. Jerry texted me back and he said, well, now it's always foul a jump shooter who's taking a difficult 3-pointer.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Fall away 3-pointer.
Yeah, when you have actually played great defense for 10 straight seconds and you got him taking a terrible shot, be sure to hit him.
Be sure to contest the shot, even though he has no chance whatsoever of making it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I think it just crushes me. You watch any team, playing their hearts out on defense for 23.5 seconds. You've done it.
Yeah.
You got him.
Yeah.
And some little rinky dink foul, and it's tough. I mean, because it's easy sitting there watching it, but as a player, you don't exactly defensively know the time on the clock.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also know it's so different now because you can't just give guys threes.
No, you can't just
crying out loud.
Look at your
22nd
place. Yeah.
Evan Mobley is shooting 42% from threes. It's 19th best in the league.
I'm still giving him a 3 every time he wants it.
Yeah, you got to contest the shot, but it's so tough, especially the 3-point, because you're, have to run at an angle to avoid running into them.
Yeah. They used to have these discussions all the time. We don't have them as often now, but what's the most difficult thing to do in sports? And people would always say, hitting a baseball, because if you succeed 3 times out of 10, blah, 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 it's a success. But to me, closing out defensively on a good player when he hasn't dribbled yet in basketball, you got to close out on him. That to me is maybe one of the most difficult things.
I think one reason people might get better looks at threes is because of the penetration. And I think some of the penetration is because you can carry the ball now, so it doesn't make any difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I mean,
if
you can literally carry the ball. You can't stay in front of a point guard anymore. You can't do it because of what they can do with the ball.
Because they tuck it under.
They tuck it under. It's like Barry Sanders going down the lane. And so then you've got to collapse. You can kick it out to your 3-point shooter. He gets an open shot. We've talked about this before.
Well, that's the thing. We've talked before. I mean, sadly, I'm so old. I remember when the rule you had to dribble, you had to have your hand on top of the ball.
What?
People,
I don't mind.
People like J.J. Redick can talk about back in the old days, they're plumbers and whatever. It's like, yeah, Bob Cousy, they couldn't have the skill, but they actually couldn't.
They had to dribble.
They had to dribble
ball
with their hand on top of the basketball. They couldn't carry it with them the first step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I even give you a little bit of the side. But when you're going underneath, I mean, I think we need to talk.
John Morant doesn't make a move without just taking the ball with him. And really, De'Aaron does too. I mean, everybody does.
Right. It's allowed.
But it makes it tougher to stay in front of a guy.
Plus, you got the gather now too.
Oh, the gather. Yeah.
Right? You carry it, and then you get the gather step.
Yeah, and that's when is it a gather and not? I don't know.
And if you drive to the basket, no matter where they foul you, you were in the act of shooting. So you're getting 2 shots.
Unless you're De'Aaron Fox.
And the ref's going, they pointing up there. You're getting 2.
I think they're a little better than they used to be about that. But because used to be, any kind of, the offensive player could just go dribble into the defender on purpose. And flail, and he'd get to go to the line.
Yeah. Who did that? Westbrook did that last night to Keon.
Yeah.
And Keon was like,
and he got by with it.
Yeah. Is he supposed to turn around and run away?
Well, I know. That's always think my thing is like, okay, where is he supposed to be?
Yes.
Where is he allowed to be?
Right.
That's like in the post, whether you rule you can't dislodge a defender. And of course, Domas does it. Jokic, all the big guys, they just knock them backwards.
Yeah.
You got.
I didn't dislodge you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm stronger and bigger than you, so I'll take this spot.
I think that constitutes a dislodging.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shaq used to not just dislodge, he dismember poor Scott Pollard and guys.
He just misplaced people. He just put them somewhere else on the floor.
We'll look at this Brandon Ingram report and take one last look at the trade deadline for now. When we come back and wrap things up here with the Phantom and Ramsey and Jerry Reynolds on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Breezy on the west side of the valley throughout the day Saturday. Highs will be in the mid-50s. We'll watch for some scattered showers in the afternoon and evening. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Don't miss the excitement of 49ers Game Day by securing your 2025 season tickets now. Inventory is limited, so speak with a representative. Dial 415-GO-NINERS and reserve your seats. That's 415-GO-NINERS.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I'm a huge fan of their SUVs and sedans, but they also have a huge Vans fleet center. Listen up, business owners. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of tax deductions. They have the perfect van to power your fleet, including the new fully electric e-Sprinter alongside their very reliable diesel options. And even if you aren't a business owner, let's say you just want one for personal reasons. Maybe you want to go out on the town with the fellas or with the ladies, or maybe you want to take the kids on a road trip. Well, their vans are fully customizable. So check out Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now. You can choose from their dependable diesel models or even go all electric with the new e-Sprinter. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton right now and check out their fleet center. Or, of course, you can go online at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com.
Take a seat in the lap of luxury. Earn entries daily with a qualifying hand on your favorite table games. Then join us every Thursday for a chance at luxury watches, bags, and more. To our grand finale drawing on February 28th with your chance to drive off in a brand new Porsche Macan. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
Elk Grove Honda reports that Honda has earned 3 coveted 2025 Car and Driver 10 Best Awards for the 3rd year in a row, honoring the Honda Civic, Honda Accord, and Honda CR-V. Honda Accord wins for a record 39th time. You can see and drive all the new 2025 award-winning models at Elk Grove Honda and see why Honda cars and trucks continue to impress the critics. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Oh, Downy in the rinse shade.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We'll get back to it here as we head down the home stretch with Jerry Reynolds and the Phantom, Mr. Basketball. Jerry's the one who named you Mr. Basketball.
I know that. I'm beholden to him, yes.
Yeah. Ramsey has something he wants to share with us. I know they mentioned it on TNT last night. Sacramento lost a longtime cherished resident. Oh, what do you got for us, Ramsey?
Yeah, just wanted to give everybody a heads up. For those that didn't hear it, unfortunately, the mother of former NBA player, Sacramento Mayor Kevin Johnson, Georgia, mother, better known as Mother Rose, Pete West, unfortunately lost a 10-year battle with cancer 2 days before Christmas on December 23rd. She had her celebration of life yesterday. I'll speak on that in just a moment, but I do have a clip that was from last night's episode of Inside the NBA with Charles Barkley, who's a very close friend of Kevin Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal, who was close because their mothers were part of the NBA Mothers Association. Here's the clip.
I want to give a shout out to one of my old teammates, Kevin Johnson. He buried his mom today, Mama Rose. A great lady, not a good lady, a great lady. She was just an amazing person. Yeah. And Kevin, man, I know he's struggling with it, him and his brother Ronnie. But she was just an amazing, amazing woman. I'm sorry I couldn't be there today, but just want KJ, man. I love you. You were a great teammate, and may your mom rest in peace.
That was from Charles Barkley last night on Inside the NBA on TNT. I just wanted to give a little love myself for the simple fact that I've been very close to the family and myself and my family have been very close to them for a little over 50, 60 years throughout the Sacramento Oak Park community. In 2003, she ran Underground Books, which is a staple in the Oak Park community, giving those in the community a chance to have somewhere to go as a safe haven to get knowledge and literature, especially African-American literature. And it's become a staple in the community. Just wanted to show some love to Kevin. Definitely wanted to show some love to Ronnie. Ronnie and I are about less than a year apart in age. And I know especially for him, I saw it yesterday. It's been tough. Unfortunately, I've been there. I lost my mother about 12 and a half years ago, so I understand how it is. And she was a staple here in the community. She received multiple resolutions from Governor Gavin Newsom, Doris Matsui from the U.S. Congress, among others. There's multiple scholarships that were put out in her name from St. Hope Academy, which Kevin and their family started to run tied in with Sac High. And Sac High is also going to honor her through starting this weekend throughout the rest of the season with any of their sports teams. They're going to have a patch, a Mother Rose patch somewhere located on the chest or on the side of the shoulder. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to take some time out, show some love, as we all do on the Drive Guys, to those we know, and show flowers and just say thank you.
Thank you, Ramsey. Appreciate that. We're just a few minutes left here. I just wanted to see what you guys thought of this report. NBA Insider Notebook here. Jake Fisher talked about the Milwaukee Bucks and the Kings needing to improve on the wing, and apparently he says that the Kings had some interest in Brandon Ingram. He is someone they considered back to this past summer. I know fans get excited about Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram all of a sudden seems like he's a guy that nobody wants.
Yeah, I think the injuries. He's been unavailable about half the games available.
Yeah,
over the years, not just now.
Expensive, and he wants a new deal.
And he wants a new deal, and supposedly wanting a $200 million deal. Well, I think that's the thing. Plus, like it's availability, and and like for the Kings, it's like, well, you got DeMar DeRozan. I mean, that would just be duplication.
Yeah, that makes he wants a new deal, $200 million, but doesn't play very often. So I'm out.
Doesn't pencil out for you.
Doesn't really work
Yeah.
out. And it
Where are
not
you
the
on
schematics?
And I think for the most part, everyone's beyond this. But where are you on Kyle Kuzma?
Out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, way out.
I guess I'm not as out as Jerry, but I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that had gone, and I think I heard it today coming in, listening to the Great Alan Styles. Somebody was mentioning Kuzma. And, hey, I thought we were all out.
There's like fumes of that. You can still catch the
Oh,
fumes.
Kuzma, yeah.
Yeah. And he went over and he said hi to Vivek when they were here last Sunday.
There
So,
it is. Yeah.
Well, now it's going to happen. So, yeah. Good for the Kings. They've gotten to a point, Jerry, where they can, we think, look at a guy like Kyle Kuzma and go, all the best to you, but nope, we're not.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, he's certainly got talent and he belongs in the league. He can score, but I'm not sure just how much better he is than Trey Lyles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you put Trey Lyles at Washington, could he get similar numbers? I think he probably could. On a losing team.
I know it's hard to know because we're just guessing, but do you get the sense that there might be something there with John Collins and the Kings?
I think it's going to be tough, because I just, my take of it and talking to some people I know that with Utah, they're really not looking to take on contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. They might move him for picks because they're trying to redo it.
Mm-hmm. Well, now what are we going to do, Fan? If we don't get Cam, we don't get John Collins.
I know. I was getting excited about John Collins again today. Jerry brings that in. I'm like, yeah. Well, I guess we just roll with what we got.
Yeah. Thanks for rolling with what we had today. We appreciate it, Phantom.
My pleasure. Had a great time.
And a lot of people had a lot of nice things to say about you. And the other ones that didn't, what?
Yeah. Family, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
No, we appreciate it.
Well, I mean, it's an honor for me just to be around Mr. Basketball again because, as my brain is degenerating, I need to pick me up now and then.
Yes.
I need someone in the same level. My brain is deteriorating.
I was telling him when I told Jay Phantoms and you want to come in, he's like, what time? What's the best time?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And then no one was there to let you in.
Yeah, well, that was the trick. He said I could come. He didn't say I could get in.
Thank you, Ramsey. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Phantom. Thanks for being with us. Have a great weekend. Stick around. Golf to Go. Speaking of Scott Marsh, who let Jerry in. Golf to Go is next on Sacktown Sports.
Plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.